Timeout.
No, he's not going to hit the cue. If you give him a cue, he's not going to hit it, Fred.
Did I do it? No, I'm not. Okay.
You did equally as well as the other day when you tried to time us back from break.
Yes, exactly. Here we go.
All right, hit the thingy. 12. Fred, I like your addition to that song. Welcome to the Black Lincoln Collective Podcast. Tonight, we are joined by Conrad from the OK Taco Show / food
company,
place.
food company place. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Thank
Welcome
you.
to the show. Start the
Thank
fucking
you.
thing, Alan.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Welcome to the Black Lincoln Collective Podcast.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'll make it wow.
With your host, Parker.
Jesus.
Featuring the sultry sounds of Fred and also Alan on the board.
Let's go already!
And now, let's start the damn show.
Welcome, one and all, to the 112th edition of the Black Lincoln Collective Podcast. Thank you, Alan. Your home for local late-breaking Roman Empire news. We're so glad you joined us, and we appreciate your support so very much. You can keep up with us at blcpodcast.com, and please drop us a like or a follow on X, Facebook, Instagram, and our TikTok. X. Please, it's true. Please rate us on your favorite podcast platform and tell all your friends. We also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/blcworld. Thank you, my dear wife, who decided to become a patron for some reason. And we are, of course, broadcast on the Pop Culture Pros Network. Check them out at popculturepros.com. And now, let's get an actual round of applause for Biggest Dickus himself. It's Fred.
You guys play the round of applause? Yeah, Fred!
See?
Yeah,
Somebody
no,
loves
There
you.
you go, Fred.
I'll tell you why. Because the guy that I'm about to introduce
Watch
is
this.
a third burglar. And he only gives it to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan OTB.
Oh, yeah.
And he gives himself like a serious one. He controls our applause sign.
He deserves it. The man had a heart attack recently.
That's true. So we would, of course, also like to welcome our old friend, the master of tacos of all colors and sizes. It's Conrad from the OK Taco Podcast and Restaurant. Which one do you prefer first?
Conrad's
Restaurant
fine.
Lincoln Podcast?
Yeah. No, OK Taco Show, I think, is what, ultimately it gets down to. Eventually, that's the easiest way to say it. So just the OK Taco Show. When you come to the restaurant, it's a show. You don't know what show you're going to get. It changes. I have a bunch of helpers that are from the neighborhood that have various abilities, special abilities, and they oftentimes bring me mysteries each day, and I like to share those to the unknowing customers of the area as they walk in, and it's typically a surprise to most of these people, and I prefer it that way. I prefer to surprise them. So I don't know. The show is just, that's what it is. The whole thing's a show. So, OK Taco Show.
So the restaurant, you go to the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a show.
Well, I mean, everything's a show, though, Freddie. You know that.
Life is but a stage,
I
and we
get
are
it,
all book
yeah.
players, Fred.
Here's the
No,
problem.
That's cool though. Like,
Well, it's hard. The hard part of it has been, you are trying to service blue collar patrons. You're trying to service
Right.
the people that are getting a quick meal on the go, but you
Right.
don't want to stage your show like the typical McDonald's fast food place.
Right.
So you have to find your way in between. And it is a mind warp to the people that come in because you're expecting one thing based on what they've seen, based on the food. You get a
Right.
totally different culture thing when you walk in. And then you mix in a new world of podcasting or just expression, really in a different way. That the area, it's just not as prevalent in this area to do any of the things that I do.
I'm trying to get a visual though. Like, okay, you're open from like is it like a lunch service?
No, it's 11 to 8. Yeah, that's why I just walked in. I cleaned up.
So
and...
you podcast for 8 hours?
No. The show's not on. It's not recorded the whole time. We've done it. When Shannon and I were doing the food truck and we were pulling this trailer that I'm sitting in, when we're pulling it around serving tacos, then we would record on the way to a location while we were there on the way home. So it was we'd have customers doing it. Since we've been here, figuring out how to incorporate one with the other has been more difficult a little bit than even the riding around, because people could understand, like, you're not from the area, you drove here, you had to do something, so you talk to each other and record it. That makes sense. But when you're like, oh no, what we do here, we make you tacos or draw you pictures or come out and do a podcast, or my wife teaches music, and they're like, okay, everybody's like, I guess I'll just have one taco then, it's like, it doesn't make sense. If you go to McDonald's and somebody's like, doing taxes and there's a disco room, and it's like, what the hell did I just walk into? And like I said, my friends from the area,
the fun McDonald's, they
dress up. I got a buddy that dress up in all kinds of costumes. He's just a kid from around here, and so like, it's just a wild thing. If you walk in and there's a man dressed like a cat or a bunny or a fox, and he's just like yelling at you, and you're thinking. And I don't stop it, what can I do? In fact, I encourage, I bought the costume, I think it's hilarious, but it's a lot. And it was a lot to try to stay within. It just was tough to stay. It's tough to keep resisting the urge to chase what would probably be easier money, maybe like knowing some ideas that would be great business wise, but not bring the kind of people
element.
I'm trying to build the Cheers atmosphere for tacos and family, and that's really it, like where everybody kind of knows each other, and then so it's just tough until people know you're building a different kind of customer base. So it is a lot.
People don't like change.
They don't, and it's it's just they don't remember a lot. People don't really pay attention. People are stuck in their world, which is understandable, but
it's hard to make them put the phones down.
You get in a habit. It's just, and I talk about it with, like, I was talking with my wife about it.
Taco about it.
Yeah, taco about it. With my wife tonight, I was like, it's just her and I, when we would go out on dates long before we had kids, so 11, 12 years ago, when we would date each other and actually liked each other and stuff, we would go to the same restaurant. We would go to Carrabba's or whatever. We weren't rich, but we bragged a lot. We would go to like a Carrabba's and stuff, and then, but we would go maybe every 6 months, and we thought like we're great patrons to this place. But when you're on the other end of it, you're like, somebody hasn't been there for 2 weeks, and you're like, this person freaking hates me. I must have ruined their burrito, and I think they want to, I think they're going to probably shut us down. I bet they're going to shut me down. Every customer becomes this little world, and it's just tough. So anyways, that's the taco business. It's a taco show. That's it. And I have other things. We don't talk about tacos. That can be boring. I get it. Other stuff. It's fine.
Fred, I say Fred and Alan will tell you that I could sit and talk about tacos all night long.
Well, yeah, they are. It's all I eat. Like someday, how stuff will happen sometimes where you go through, you're doing one thing, not noticing the consequences of that thing as you're doing it, and the consequences are actually better than the thing you were trying to do, if that makes any sense. So, like, I'm trying to make a living and build a thing here, but the consequence is I might break a world record for eating the most amount of tacos ever. It's incredible the amount of, that's all I eat. The body only needs ground beef, and it's a pathetic existence, and you feel awful, and it's not great, but it's
It
all
sounds better
you
than it
need.
is, right?
Yeah, I feel
Oh my God.
like it's a
Yeah, but
purgatory.
It seems like you're like, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like almost every day I see a new special, or every other day I see a new special, and I'm like, is that when you're like, because I as someone who's used to manage restaurants and work in restaurants, some days you're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. So you make something up, and you're
Right.
like, well, we're selling it today.
Well, the fun part. Okay, well, there's no charade. I'm not trying to put a veil over anything that we're doing. But oftentimes, I think people have been tricked so much by restaurants and their marketing and all their different things that a new item they'll get sold on. You know what I mean? Like if somebody comes out with a new item, somebody might be like, hey, just stacking an egg on top of a waffle isn't any different than having a plate with an egg and a waffle. And somebody's like, have you had a waffle slammer yet? And it's like, I mean, I've had eggs and waffles. Are you talking about when you put them together, you know? And so I have 3 ingredients on. That's all I know how to cook. It's all I know how to do. I didn't know how to run any restaurant at all, and so I just figure out different ways to put them together. And you can just add a fourth. It's like a song, you know. You add a fourth of anything, and it doesn't matter. And you put a creative name or something stupid and try to relate it back, and it's just a joke. And the part that sucks is when somebody actually sees your joke and comes in and orders it. You know, because I'll put like a John Goodman, which is. Oftentimes it is just something that I, had in the fridge, it's like I put a piece of bacon on here and, I didn't have any extras, but it's more of it's also a Facebook post. It's, which you probably know, Matt, you try to find, these little tent poles of bits that you can come back to at any time that people know you for. And even if they're not really, it just gives you one more thing that it's not an unexpected post if you post that you had a John Goodman
it's
burrito.
A soft touch.
Yeah, it's just you're not telling them come get this. It doesn't matter. It's a joke. They get it, but it reminds them. It's all that stuff. So. Anyways,
the problem is I would be there quite often. Like, let me get that.
Well, yeah, dude, I don't worry. There are Oklahoma Matts and Oklahoma Freddies and Oklahoma Allens even. Yeah. And you probably all would be like the same. There is a dude that does look just like Alan that lives right across from where I'm parked right here. And he drives a red PT Cruiser by Chrysler. Have you heard of that, Alan?
Oh, my God.
Alan, do you like PT Cruisers? Do you like
I do drive a red car.
Oh, dude, it's bright red, and he is a nice guy. He works a car lot, too, so... To choose a PT Cruiser when you're amongst cars, it's like that's a bold choice. And so,
it's a man with taste.
Yeah, he'll come by. He's a good guy. He comes by, and it's just so funny because sometimes it's like I remember these people, and they will not have any. Like they'll be like, "This is the first time I've been here," and I'm like, "This is not the first time you've been here, sir. I mean, I've definitely served you before. You were wearing that shirt. I'm pretty sure we had the same conversation. And so
what's that chicken man doing running around here?
It gets so it was such a different human study when Shannon and I set out on our adventure of driving around because that was like. It really blew my mind how close all these towns were, but as we were driving to them, how it didn't. You might as well have been talking about a different state. You might as well have been saying that you came from a different state, and you'd be like, I'm coming from 8 miles from here. I mean, it's not far. Sometimes it'd be 45 minutes, but still you'd be like, you've never been, west 45 minutes? That seems odd. They're like, oh, no, we travel when we go on vacation. And it's so true. It's everyone. Everyone does this, and it's natural, but you get on the main corridors, you go to your main places, and then you go to vacations at the main vacation places.
Right. Well, we're creatures.
Yeah, we're all, and we get in these habits, but we broke it based on a, drunken business model and really just like drove through the matrix to see all these little interconnections of people's towns that are in the same area, but might as well be different worlds. I mean, it was crazy. And the way that local municipalities had different enforcement laws, and you're talking... And all of them are based on a big city law that has nothing to do with a town that has 73 people in it. And you're like, oh, if I was to buy a 2-day event pass, I was like, when's the last time you guys had a 2-day event pass? I mean, no, you have
Willie Nelson came back
people.
here in 1972.
So it is it's interesting to compare that kind of thing to then sitting behind the counter and just seeing how people treat staff, how people treat all kinds of different things, and it's just interesting. And so it makes it's stressful. It's all kinds of things. It's all those emotions, and so then you just got to navigate your way through them and get to the point where you sit alone in a classic Airstream talking about the problems of the world to nobody. So, I mean, everything's great,
But
Matt.
it's
Thanks
also
for
an
having me on.
Right, it's an arcade, yeah.
It's also an arcade. Yeah.
Yeah, it is all arcade too. That's true.
Don't disrespect
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Thank you. It's an aircade. That's also an insurance
Oh, there you go.
trick. They asked me if I had arcade. No, I have an aircade. You didn't ask me that.
They're like, well, okay. fair enough. Like, we
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
But you're gonna ruin
That's
it for
awesome,
everyone
man.
else who does it. Yeah.
That's right. I think it's super cool. Like if we could turn this podcast into a taco stand of some sort, I would be 100% for it. Alan would too, but he would never show up, and Fred would also be for it and never show up.
I'll just come to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll just sit.
Eat some tacos for the kids.
It's fun. It's in a fun place
Expect a discount.
now. You know, everything's in a good place as far as everything feels great, except for we don't make no money. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
But I feel more comfortable about a lot of the things going on, and I got my kids. Like that was a big deal. I had to figure out a way to be around. I spent 10 years running, basically just running towards the podcast, but whatever I could do to make money while doing it, grabbing everything. And at some point, it's like, no, we're going to stop running, and you two are going to come right here, and you're going to, to my wife, you're going to help me with this. This is the whole thing that we're doing together. And so that was a shock to everyone, but that was what had to happen. And so it's different. So you get to homeschool, all that stuff. So it's like, and that's kind of the way I've always done things. I take all these ideas, I sit there and I go, I'm thinking about doing this, this, and this. And most people have that. And then all of a sudden, I do all three of them all at the same time. And everybody's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And it's like, I told you I was going to do these things. And they're like, why did you pick right now? And why did you pick all of them? And it's like, I don't know. It's like pulling the Band-Aid off or something. So anyways, it's that's everything. Now you're caught up. And now I feel like I've talked too much. So.
No. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
the
Oh,
right
man.
amount.
This is great, man. So,
No.
like, well, I mean, I can give you I can shout out for like doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. I
Like,
think it's awesome.
even attempting. Most people won't even try to attempt it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I that all doesn't sink in at all. You just wake up in fear. You just spit, and it's really no
Awesome.
different than what I felt working at a job where I had the boss. You know what I mean? It has
Right, yeah.
that same feeling. If you have a family, if you have and still have a goal or an ambition or something, and trying to balance those, and who's going to suffer or sacrifice because of it, and there's always a give and take. And so you just wake up with fear every day. So it's not, I would like to say thanks and it took some sort of courage, but it's more, you're just hoping that this big shield holds up, like this big fear shield. So, and you're hoping that some sort of miracle pops in, like some Julie Andrews lady comes in, she's like, I'll work for free and make you the best food in the world. It's like, really? It's like, but why? It's like, because I'm old, and I don't want to do something,
And I'll watch your kids.
Yeah, I'll watch your kids, and you can leave and go to Carrabba's. It's like, oh my God, you old lady, thank you.
All my dreams are coming true.
Jesus, old lady. So,
Finally get fried ravioli again.
oh man. Yeah, Carrabba's is
that's
pretty
awesome.
good. It's a legitimate. I mean, it's
How
a
close is the nearest Carrabba's to you?
Oh,
right now?
buddy, that's a Google search that might be disheartening. I don't even want to. That's
Is there
a.
still?
I didn't mean to bring it up. I didn't.
We do have Carrabba's. Yeah, we do have one
We have
Carrabba's.
a Carrabba's. Yeah.
Oh man,
One Carrabba's.
yeah. I don't know. The nearest one in Wichita was like a 45. It was the perfect amount to get that romance kind of building up.
Right.
With
Get it working.
yeah, you could kind of be like, and
Yeah.
you could always get somebody craving a little bit of spaghetti. Just like
Yeah.
It's like got that olive oil, and then you start doing that,
Right.
and by the time you get to Carrabba's, she's just putty in your hands, man, and you keep it out of. You start talking about her birthday, and if you want to get really lucky, start talking about her mom's birthday. And
She's gold, dude.
I was thinking about doing this for your mom's birthday, and she's like, "Oh my God, you were?" I was like, yeah,
You remember my mom's birthday?
I certainly did. Yeah.
Well, just so you know, the Carrabba's in Wichita is open till 10.
Yeah, well,
I don't know
if you guys ever make it to Wichita, I would take you to a Carrabba's. That would be
There you go.
That is
for
that's
sure.
the most authentic restaurant that there is in Wichita, Kansas.
like if you want to taste Wichita, Matt, follow me to Carrabba's.
Taste of
Come on
Wichita.
over to an endless bucket of bread. At Carrabba's.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. We do have a Carrabba's. I went to Carrabba's, and I'll just to make you feel better. My wife and I went to Carrabba's a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, because we were just out of options and it was there.
that's cool.
And it was pretty disappointing. If I'm being honest with you. I wanted it to be great. I did.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I haven't been to Carrabba's in years. It's probably
What did you
just as good as
order?
ever.
What you get? You must not have got
Um,
Johnny Carrabba or whatever.
I got, yeah, I'm gonna have to look what I got. She got gluten-free something.
where you
Yeah,
That's
you
what,
can't.
that was the problem.
Yeah.
She has to eat the gluten-frees,
Oh man,
but
yes.
she loves the pasta.
Yeah, well, that is a big
Yeah.
problem.
And
Yeah,
so it's
Right.
really a rock and a hard place for your boy.
I can imagine you landed on Carrabba's.
Yeah, so well, 'cause she was like, "Oh,
Spin the wheel."
Carrabba's has gluten-free pasta.
I guess we'll
and
do
they're
it.
Open. And I was like, "Shit, that
gluten-free
hits all the buttons." And the
pasta.
only thing that any restaurant has that's gluten-free is pizza.
Yeah.
Every restaurant has
Right.
like a gluten-free pizza. And they
Cauliflower.
all
Well, I mean, everything
suck.
like a steak is gluten free, Matt. I mean, you could take her to
Right.
get a steak every now and then.
I offered.
Yeah.
You know, you could
But
take
see,
her.
she's not a steak person. She's a bread person. So
You can't be a bread
And she
person.
can't.
Can't
And,
be.
well, that's the whole problem.
Take her to a
This is why-
hypnotist.
This is why fate is cruel.
Yeah.
Is because she
Have you
would
guys
rather
been
eat-
to a hypnotist, a local hypnotist or something?
We've had we need to get. We've had a couple
Actually,
almost
we had one
hypnotists
on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you guys all
not,
get?
not hypnotist yet. Maybe we.
Yeah, he was more of a mesmerizer.
Oh, did you
Wait,
guys
who
get
was on this?
mesmerized?
He was a mentalist or something, right?
Who
Chris
the
Angle?
fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
We had
Chris
the
Angle.
hypnotist on the
The
show.
Who do we
guy.
have? Who?
Matt can't remember because he got hypnotized, dude.
I can't remember any of it. All I remember is the Carrabba's. It's delicious.
Yeah, that stuff's real. I've seen it at a
Who
college
do we have?
dorm.
I'm like,
Really?
considered-
Like-
Yeah, we had a hypnotist on the show.
no.
You booked him.
Matt, you were freaking hypnotized. That's what I said. It works.
He
Hypnotize you.
did.
I really can't remember that. I really can't remember that at all. I'm worried that I was hypnotized now.
You were. Now, legitimately, though, if you could hypnotize your wife into either not being a either not liking bread or not having the disease, which would you do?
Oh, it would be the disease because the disease has been much more inconvenient for me, not more than her.
Well, right, but I want to make sure. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but the disease means
That's
that
an
I have to,
authentic
like-
answer.
right? Because I love to cook, I love to bake stuff, I love
Yeah.
to and I totally would. Like seriously, if like shit goes south at my job, I might be right there. I might be opening like OK Taco 2 right beside you.
That's fine.
And it won't be tacos.
As long as you-
we'll never sell tacos.
All you gotta do is survive on love, not money. It's
I
tough.
only know how to make white people tacos, so I can't. Like,
Um,
you
We'll
know.
do okay hot dogs.
Yeah, it's easy. Just put a hot dog in it, like Freddie said.
There you go. Oh, perfect. Makes perfect
Hot
sense.
dog and a tortilla shell.
Yeah.
But no, so I love to cook like Asian food and everything like that, and like it's like freaking impossible. Like gluten free is like, oh, we
Yeah.
can't have noodles, we can't have this, we can have rice, which is great. Hooray for rice!
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
there's just a
rice
lot
is
of
good.
things that's,
I mean-
no, rice is great. I love rice.
I used to not like rice though. When did you start liking rice?
When
Since
I
they
was
he
poor.
put white butter on it. He put
That's
butter on that white.
Ever
rice.
since once I realized it was white like me, I was like, we have so much in common.
No,
Me
but
and
have
this
you
rice.
always liked rice? Even when can you
I love
remember?
rice, man. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're from the
I've
south.
always
Rice
liked
is
rice.
like rice is the staple food down here.
Both
like,
Alan and Freddie too. You guys?
Well, I was
Yeah,
Puerto
yeah,
Rican,
for us,
so-
yeah.
Grandma used to make rice and gravy.
Mhm.
Like she would fry the steak and make the gravy out of the grease and shit. Put that shit on top of that rice, man. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I've just now been introduced to that way of living by my stepmom, but because she's from Louisiana, so everything
Oh, yeah.
is basically rice and gravy and crawdads.
Right.
You should ask her to
Yeah.
come on into the restaurant and.
Oh, I
and
have.
do
I
it.
ask her every time I see
Okay,
her.
tacos,
Yeah.
rice and gravy.
That's actually my dream. I wanted her and my father to do that. It's slow enough, that was the plan. That they can come, she can cook it. I mean, it's that slow. But it's still gotta be responsible. But you know what I mean.
Sure.
So,
but
anyways.
you throw a little Cajun flair in there.
Oh yeah,
you
no,
might be
she'll
onto
have.
something.
There'll be freaking shrimps in there, and there's going to be, it'll all be a soup somehow. You know what I mean? She'll get to a
it's
soup
always a
eventually.
soup, yeah.
Yeah. So it's always a gumbo or a soup involved.
I want to
But
make a gumbo.
yeah. And I like her.
Pour that in.
You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but
It's okay.
yeah, she's
But
fine.
no, so yeah, if I had my choice, I would absolutely make the disease go away. I would make all diseases go away.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, but I'm just saying.
If I could hypnotize, if I could hypnotize her and get her to do one thing, it would be dishes.
Oh yeah.
That's the number one thing that I'm like, oh,
I think my
yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, talk about
Do you not like
Anything-
dishes?
Anything. I love dishes. I just
Oh,
love
yeah.
them when they're clean.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. Do you not like doing the process of doing the
I don't
dishes?
hate
Do you have
doing
a
them. The problem
dishwasher?
is, we do.
Yeah.
See, look, come on, man.
How many
can you
people you have?
No,
just
how many
wash your
children?
hands?
You have two
This is the
children.
dishwasher. He's terrible. He's so
You
fucking.
got 1, 2, 3.
No, we have 5 people in this household, plus
All right.
a couple of animals and a turtle now.
That counts.
Yeah, the turtle is shit at dishes. He doesn't do the dishes for shit.
Right.
So
he was getting around to it.
He was
man.
he's learning. He's
Yeah,
learning.
he's
But,
getting
it's
there.
gonna be,
a
turtles
turtle.
learn slowly. Yeah, they do a lot of things slow. So, now the problem isn't the dishes themselves. It's that if you have 3 or 4 days of dishes
yeah.
backed
yeah.
up, it's not
Right.
just we just got to knock these dishes out real quick. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is like a fucking biohazard scene because nobody pours out their shit.
Yeah, but why
Yeah.
is that? I've never understood that. I understand it because I do the same thing, but I'm also,
I do too.
you know what I mean? Like I am I'm such a loser sometimes, you know. But I'll have like just a little bit of coffee, and I'll know the sink's right there. I'm looking at
Yeah.
the sink, and I'll just set
Right
it in the sink like a freaking
like
rebel. But here's the thing, Matt.
You gonna come back and drink it later?
Here's the thing. I will pour coffee onto that. My wife will
Right.
throw a fit that I left coffee in there, and my point is I don't want it washed. I prefer this is now. Do I prefer it? No, but I'm
Saving
willing
that
to
coffee.
say it. I'm willing to drink it. And I'm willing
I'll
to.
die on that hill.
I
Yeah.
will live it. That I do
so-
like it better. This dirty soapy coffee is better to me a little bit, babe.
Delicious.
You know, and so
Babe.
she gets. I don't understand the dishes though, because all other than the coffee, that's it. You know, oftentimes I will remember what we had to eat at home, and I'll be like, nothing. We didn't eat all
Right,
week here,
and- yeah.
and yet
Right.
my wife's like, I've been doing dishes for 17 hours today. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? How? From what?
Like, is that a code? For
Like, well,
something?
I made that bread. It's like, what? I don't know what any of that means. You know,
No,
made bread
no,
for.
it's the same.
You
the-
made it,
or-
ate it all. Where's the bread?
I don't know. I
or
would.
she'll
Yeah, like, good.
You know, you had your friend.
I was like, yeah, it happens at my house too, man. Like, I don't understand it. Like, we just put your shit in the dishwasher.
Well,
That's
just
all you gotta
rinse
do.
it. Just
rinse
I mean, what are you
Just
even
rinse it.
having?
Rinse it
Just
off. Yeah,
rinse it. It's
off.
done.
Throw the excess food in the trash can.
Got a freaking
You know what I mean?
mosquito in here.
I have one of mine.
Something.
He must have just left here because he was.
Did you have
he might seen
mosquitoes?
me swatting at him
He
earlier.
traveled
Dude,
across screens.
are we
He's
freaking
like,
shooting them through each
Internet
other?
mosquitoes.
Cool.
But no. The problem is, and my wife will admit to this, and she probably will yell at me about it probably as well. But that's fine. She is a very enthusiastic cook. So she sees a recipe and she's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna conquer that
Right.
recipe. I'm gonna pin it down on the ground and make it submit to my will." And then she tries, and the recipe overpowers her.
Right.
And it could be almost any recipe, really.
I'd
But
say
it
scrambled
eventually
egg.
overpowers her. And then she's like, "We're having pizza. Fuck you, recipe."
And then you're halfway through. All of the dishes are out. Everything.
everything.
Right.
Stuff you don't
There's a
even remember
commercial.
buying. You know, wedding gifts, crap like
Even
that.
if you don't eat the food, the dishes
Right.
remain.
Yeah.
There's a new Geico commercial where like it's supposed to be like the neighbors are looking in on these guys the way they do stuff, and they were like announcers, and like they'd be like, these leaves aren't going to bag itself, or it was something else. But he was talking. They were in the kitchen like news announcers. And
Yeah.
he told them some people clean while they cook, not these guys. You know?
It's true.
Every
that's
time I
most
saw it, I
people.
look at my wife and I fucking die laughing. Like it's just so fucking you.
Yeah. Well, my wife is a great cook. She's amazing at cleaning everything, but sometimes it's
Right.
like it takes her so long. It's worth buying new stuff, or
Right.
At some point we have to value interacting in this home, you know what I mean, and not feeling
Right.
like I'm in a waterfall because
Right.
you know, for some reason we're still washing this set of glasses. You know, why are we pulling these out? We're just gonna wash them right now, just like it's a normal thing to do.
Hours later, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I might wash
People
these.
people love to wash and wash and wash.
Yeah.
And dishes and laundry never get done, and that's just
Can I throw an
just a
idea?
person.
Let's not.
That's good.
It's food related, but it's an idea I was reminded of because, in the Wichita area, the Humane Society was recently looking for a new director, and I don't know what experience you guys have. Alan possibly does with the recent heart attack with animals, but anyways. On a previous podcast that I used to do with guys, I had brought this idea up, but there wasn't a job position opening at the time.
sure.
And now
Timing's
that
everything.
the timing is right, and there's like, at least with Zoom, and because of, it's almost like COVID was a blessing, which I'd never say out loud, but because of that, maybe I can apply for this position remotely. And one of my biggest ideas always was to kill two birds with one stone. To do things, to knock out
It's
two
not going to be
problems.
great for the Humane Society.
Well, hold on, because here's the thing, Matt. Here's the thing, Freddie. What I'm saying to you guys
Gonna
is
kill
this:
2 dogs.
what's happening? What's happening at these? You know what's not humane at a Humane Society? Anything? It's freaking. They're giving them death pills. They're making these dogs eat. It's a crazy. They got pits of dogs. I've heard. You know what I mean? People. I heard on Drew Barrymore's show. I
or
heard
they
a-
will when he's on.
I heard on Drew Barrymore's show they had a pit of a dog stacked 100 foot high on Drew Barrymore. Matt, what I'm saying is they're killing these dogs, and what's happening? They're burning them. They're going the ozone, global warming. We get it. We saw the Maui fires. What I'm saying is this, Matt. What if we cut these animals up into delicious treats? We feed the homeless. We solve two problems. And go stop it like it's an insult. Acting,
not an insult.
we got people that need food. We act like we don't have the money, and we got a place that's killing perfectly great food, street eats. You know,
Street eats.
unwanted. We got a 3-legged cow. It's just a tiny cow, Freddie. What is a dog? A tiny cow? A tiny skinny cow?
They have udders, sort of.
In other countries, Freddie, why don't you walk to another country right now and see what they're eating? Give you a backstrap of a cat when you go over there.
They will. They
Yeah,
love him.
you'll be sitting in a pool of water in
So
China
this is a
dipping
rat
cat. That's what you're going to be doing.
You just don't answer the question, Fred. That's the thing.
No,
Is you
I-
don't
I
answer. You don't
can't.
ask. It's a don't ask, don't tell.
What do you do, Fred? What do you do? Drive
right.
around and see a problem,
I'm
dogs
telling you though, like
homeless, and not try to
Head
solve
president, He
both.
sees a solution.
I see a solution.
Matt knows my utopian. You know what I'm saying? The way I lean. You know what I'm saying?
Fred hates
Hey,
animals.
that if it gets to it, man, it's me or the dog. It's gonna be the dog.
Well,
Fred
Fred,
threatened
I
to-
mean,
Fred,
I
we-
eat his ass
me
up,
once
but-
on a
Fred, you
2-hour
can
drive.
kill the dogs. However, I mean, we got to kill them. I didn't want it to be enjoyable, but if it has to be, it has to be.
I mean, if you got to do it, you might as well enjoy it.
You know,
right?
that's like a happy mortician, man. I mean, I guess they exist.
I got that motherfucker. He finally died.
Here he is.
Oh
Best
my
day of
God.
mortician.
It's just a friend of
morticianing
mine.
ever.
He sent me that link. He's like, "Hey, man, I remember when we were talking on the show about this." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a great idea." And he's like, "I think it was way far before its time, you know." And I don't know if he actually still considered it. It just reminded him that I one time said we should feed homeless people animals. And I said it in a way though that was, if taken out of context, well, yeah, sure, you can make it look
Yeah.
bad.
Sure, it's going to be political.
Politicize it, Matt.
Incorrect.
Politicize it.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna take me all Nancy Grace style, sure,
Mitt
it's gonna look
Romney.
bad. This guy said he's gonna kill dogs. Yes.
If you, like you said, why there's nothing wrong with feeding homeless people animals. You just don't specify, and if they ask, you
animal-
just look.
what
You
animal
just
it
change
is.
the subject.
You don't think it would be more insulting to be like, what if you come from a different country? Have you seen those countries? I've seen it on a movie where they were eating candied crickets and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You telling me if we had a camera
Same views
going
and shit.
and there was a homeless man and I walked up, just me, dumb old hayseed me, walked up and handed a box of crickets to a homeless person. But yeah, if the person from that place that eats the crickets, if a person from that place brought them, they'd be like, oh, that's just their culture. They eat crickets there. And I'm like, I just brought a gift from India to this street man. And I'm bad?
Do you remember bum fights?
Yeah. That's what
this
made
would
Joe
be bum
Rogan
fight.
famous, I think.
Bum bites with Conrad. Here, eat these crickets, bum. I'll give you $6.
Dude, the most talented fiddle player I ever seen was a homeless man or a man that looked homeless.
probably very well.
He was
very-
performing on the street. It was an electric fiddle. I think that's
Oh,
what
well, then
caught
he's
my
rich.
attention. Yeah.
If he can afford electricity and a fiddle,
Yeah.
Dog, when you
play Devil
when
Goes
you
Down
find
Blue.
out that there's an electric fiddle, you go through your life thinking there's just normal fiddling, and you're walking around, and all of a sudden on a bridge somebody starts playing an electric fiddle. Am I in a movie? I mean, is Rocky Balboa going to hit me?
I only know of that because of Lindsay Sterling, the electric fiddle lady.
Oh, dude, Donald Sterling was the Clippers owner that got the
And
lady.
I assume that's her dad. I don't
Oh,
know.
there we go.
Maybe
Small
that's
world.
him.
Disney character.
She got famous on the internet, which is what we're trying to do right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Make
not
us
working,
famous,
by the way.
internet.
Hurry up.
Come
Come on, this live stream ends in 30 minutes.
on, internet. I know
Yeah.
you're in there.
Do something. Don't cancel us.
Something's in there.
That we just talked about feeding dogs to human beings
Eating
on the
animals.
streets.
Hey, all
But
views
that's all
of
dependent on the job.
this show don't reflect my show or whatever.
Right. We try not to reflect our own show.
Yeah,
generally
there.
speaking.
There we go.
So,
It's just
no,
an
I mean,
idea.
Yeah, no, it's just, spitball. And that's the kind of, those are the kind of ideas that the city of Wichita needs.
Oh,
That's
the
right.
city of Wichita, and that's a big place to change.
Right.
That's why I moved to Davenport. When I'm down here, it's small enough that I think I might have some impact. You know what I
You
mean?
need the change.
Yeah, I think I am sometimes on that stuff, which is fine. It's a lot of pressure, and really all it is, and a lot of people are great at it as far as just being different, break out of the thing a little bit. Break out of the bubble for a second. Come on in here to this taco shop with a rug from India that's in the middle of the floor, and a bunch of pictures and a handicapped boy playing like a cat right there. Come on in,
Allegedly have some crickets.
Yeah.
possibly.
And so, that's just to me that is what it should all be about. But that's obviously from my perspective. I also, I told my wife, here's how it all set up. This is it. This is how I did it. Take everything that I do because I'm antisocial and I'm an introvert and I overthink everything. So all the conveniences that have started happening with the fast food world and shopping world and everything, Amazon, all that stuff as it happened, I took all that because it's perfect for me. And so then then I realized after doing my show for so long, everybody hates me, Freddie. I've done the show for 12 years, nobody likes you. So everything I like must suck. So when I build my business, I'm going to take everything I like and I'm going to go opposite.
Well, you
So
can
there's,
stand
Right.
I just have to,
you
it gave
go.
me a business plan of do everything that works and then completely flip it and
Right.
do everything that doesn't work, and then,
Makes perfect sense.
and when you say it to bankers and crap, they're like, how
Right.
it is. They look at it
Yeah.
like, well, where's the money going to come from? And it's like, bud, you're the money side here. I don't,
That's you.
you come to me and talk about, what are you talking about money? I'm here to talk to you about money. Where's the money going to come from is what
Why are
I'm
you
saying.
asking me this question? Yeah.
Like, what the hell? It's like, well, I just want to see a monthly income. Oh, really? You'd like to see a monthly? Oh, how much? Year over
would
year?
too. I would love to see that
That'd
too,
be
yeah.
great. Really. I was
all
aiming for
love
something
that.
totally different, Mr. Banker. So, anyways,
But
sorry.
I will say, Conrad, that it actually brings me to a question that I've been meaning to ask the guys lately, and I think you embody it. Whatever happened to pizzazz?
Oh, dog.
You know,
That's the biggest compliment I've ever had. I
I'm
pizzazz.
serious. You got pizzazz, man.
Yeah.
Like whatever happened to like back in the day, you'd go to a restaurant
Moxie.
because of something, or you'd go somewhere because they're like that guy right there's got pizzazz,
Right.
and
yeah,
you would
yeah.
like, and you're like that. You're absolutely right. He's got mad pizzazz. It's all
Yeah.
gone now. Everything's just boring and stupid.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. I think what happened is that it just you get judged by it totally. Like, and it's not true though. Not in real life. Nobody will judge you about your pizzazz in real life. But
Right.
if you were to be doing that and trying to post it on social media, there's so much negativity about.
There's so much hate.
Everyone thinks that even when you're doing it in real life, that it's for that. So if you're acting as if that, they think that you're putting
Yep.
on this character that's for that, and
Right.
Right.
and like in some ways you are, because it's like, well, I live in this world anyways. I mean, I have to. If somebody's
I
gonna take
am
a
the
picture of me,
Yeah.
this is who I am right now. But I think
Right.
that is what's hard. I think people hold back from, not just express. You just stay in your lane. It's just like not
Yeah,
talking to
right.
your
You get beat
neighbors
down
or
into your
any
lane.
of that. It's the same thing. It just has gone away, and everybody's, I think, scared of each other or scared of what. I don't know if it's scared or like Just,
Yeah, there's a lot of fear out there too, man.
or maybe it's just
There's
you don't
fear.
want to. Everything's like, I don't want to find out what everything's going on with this guy. You know what I mean? And for whatever reason, it's you're sitting there. You got 20 minutes on the way to work, and you ask one guy like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they start telling you, and in your mind internally, you're like, "I didn't want to know all this." You know, It's like, I just wanted to say it's all good. But people are doing that all the time, and that's what I've noticed when I do this. Just people are just looking for somewhere, somebody to just be able to talk about anything, like, and not feel like it's a judgment. Like they're gonna get three thumbs because they had this opinion. They just come tell the crazy taco guy, and I'll be like, "That's a great idea. I think you should do that."
Give it a shot.
You're gonna vote? Cool. I mean, that's cool, man.
I got into a conversation this morning with a lady about voting, and I don't usually try to get into conversations that are political, and it wasn't political, which is what made it weird because it was about voting.
Yeah, and your shirts that ask me about my politics or something.
Well, no, it did, like I was getting some lovely boiled eggs for breakfast this morning from a Harris Teeter locally because I was like, I'm trying to, Fred, I realized I'm not eating enough protein.
Yeah, you gotta eat protein.
So I was like, I gotta get this. I'm trying to like lose weight. I'm walking and moving around and breathing in and out constantly almost.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, thank you, Alan. That's been happening a lot too, and the eggs didn't help. But so I was like getting these boiled eggs like a chump because I can boil my eggs at home, but you know,
right?
I'm
pre-peeled.
Pre-peeled is nice.
So I was there, and the lady.
Those chickens are talented.
They're the best. They're Eggland's best.
Keep the shell in there, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm like, that's for you. That's your tip. You just keep that at home. But so this lady, I'm standing up there. This lady and this old dude. It's always an old dude. I'm just talking, and she's like, that's why I don't vote. And I was just like, what? Wait, what? Like, I didn't hear any of the conversation before that.
You were just thinking about those eggs.
Yeah, I was just like, these eggs. I can't wait to swallow these eggs whole like a snake.
Got the little salt and pepper paste.
Right.
No, I tried putting hot sauce on them. Guess what, Fred? Disappointing.
Hey, try soy sauce.
I tried to make. Okay, see, here we go.
Okay, never mind. Go on to your story. Don't go back.
No, it's fine.
Don't take a soy sauce bait.
This is worth it. This is worth it.
All right.
I tried to make Korean marinated eggs, not today. And I thought they were disappointing, and everyone else was like, these are amazing. And I'm like, you guys just eat too many regular ass white people eggs because these are not that great. But everybody, like, all these people were just like, keep making them. And I'm like, I won't make them. I can't do it anymore. They were soft boiled, which is a plus.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, this lady's just like, then that's why I don't vote. And the old man was like, well, I mean, he was taken aback, and he was like, you should vote.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I don't. And I'm like, and she's like, do you know why? And I'm like, oh Jesus, here we go.
Did you know why?
Not a political reason.
Yeah, but did you
not
guess?
A political reason.
Oh.
No, well, you wouldn't have guessed.
Oh.
But I couldn't guess. I was just like, oh fuck me, I don't want to be in this.
ID probably driver's ID.
No, because her ex is into politics and ran for some sort of political seat.
Yeah.
And I was like, why wouldn't you vote specifically against him? Right. I was like, I mean, if you don't vote for anyone else, you should at least vote against the guy you don't like.
That's giving his
like,
power back. Yeah, I get it.
Right. And she's like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, but do you want to complain about it for the rest of your life? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, in my opinion, you're not allowed to complain unless you vote.
Right.
And the old guy was like, he's right. Vote, then you can bitch as much as you want. And I'm like,
congratulations, Matt. You've made it to old.
Yeah, right? I was like, and he's like, you're a young whippersnapper
You have
like
now
me.
become an old guy.
Dude, I had the same conversation almost to a T to the person that returned stuff at Kohl's in the back by the bathrooms.
Right.
About well, it's more just about because somebody was back there complaining about COVID restrictions. Not me. I wasn't that guy, but I was there and standing there, and she's like, well, you should vote, And again, it wasn't me, but I was like, the other person was like, I wouldn't vote for these people either. No way. And she's like, well, then you can't complain.
Right. You can't complain.
Yes, but to that person.
And they still do.
To that person, and I was like, yeah, you can't, dude. And I'm just here to get my COVID vaccine. That's what I was standing there. It's like, I don't even know why. Can't vote here at Kohl's. I mean, you can get Kohl's cash. Why are you talking to this Kohl's woman about voting right now, man?
Right.
Priorities. And what'd you buy?
If you could vote at Kohl's, more people would vote.
Dude,
Like,
you gotta.
Maybe get some Kohl's cash.
Yeah,
$20
dude.
Kohl's cash.
You-
hook you up.
I check into a Kohl's. I almost consider like going to a hotel. I check into a Kohl's about every 2 or 3 quarters. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah.
see what they think is going on in the world, because they got a
Right.
totally different world going on at Kohl's. They found
Yeah.
out about air fryers 6
Oh,
Christmases
man.
after you had one. I mean, I went into Kohl's like last year, and they were like,
Like, brand new air fryers, never been seen
freaking
before.
Cindy Crawford sitting in an air fryer, and I was like, "Oh my!" They didn't know about these. Shit, I've been air fried. These people are
One
crazy.
Christmas kid like me.
Yeah.
I went in one year and like for their advertisement, they had like who was it? It was Tom Brady and Josh from Saturday Night Live. Married to Scarlett Johansson.
Married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, it does the news. He does the news.
thought Mar-
Colin
Jost.
Colin Jost. Yeah.
Colin Jost. Yeah.
He's on
They had
Saturday
him and
Night
Colin
Live?
Jost in like polo shirts,
Oh.
like leaning on each other.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
They do have nice clothes there, though. I mean, that is.
Yeah.
It's a bargain. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not
No, it's
arguing
not a
about the
bargain.
bargain. It's a great
not a
bargain.
bargain.
Right. And it's
No.
just good
No.
people, really. At
It's
Kohl's.
not better than like TJ Maxx.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
TJ Maxx.
That's where I buy my cologne.
Too many X's.
Yeah.
There's too many X's in TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
All right.
Can't go and vote at TJ Maxx.
I always like
Yeah.
I go to TJ Maxx, and I'm always like, "Where's your guys' beauty aisle?" You know, and then they point me to the cologne. Like, oh, perfect, that's it.
You're like, that's exactly what I came in here for.
Yeah.
I guess
So
I'll
the
buy
only
this. I'll buy this
Had to get somebody else like it.
42-ounce bottle of Michael Jordan. Perfect. This is great. Freaking
Jumpman was a little long, but it's okay.
That's tough to get through the Jumpman. I mean, I've tried everything. You try walking through Jordan cologne, you try spraying it on, and it has just got a bitterness there at the end. And it might just be the TJ Maxx version I got, but I think it's
You
salt.
gotta jump in.
I think they put salt in it. I don't know.
It's like now with vinegar.
Yeah, right. It burns. Yeah.
That's the vinegar is the key. No, I do love TJ Maxx though. Now that you mention it, I need to go. See, here's the problem. COVID got me where and again, thank you COVID for this. Honestly, where I don't do shopping ever.
Yeah.
Like I don't go to places unless it's like this is an immediate need and
Right.
my wife
Or they
takes
have
me.
food.
Or yeah, I mean they have food. I can't do
Right.
anything about that. But yeah, COVID made it where I'm like, oh, I'll just order everything online forever.
Yeah.
I'm willing to wait
Yeah.
some amount of days. So
Yeah.
I don't go
Yeah.
anywhere anymore. Even
I
though
was
I
like
go to
doing
games,
that
too.
because then you don't get the sizes right. You know what I'm saying? I
who
try
cares?
to.
Who cares? Fred, when
That's
you're
right. Just send it back, right?
when you're built like this, you just get the biggest one on the sheet.
You just put it on. You know what I mean?
12X, and I'm like,
There's
12X
an
will fit.
age that some people get to, and I think, unfortunately, Matt, I think it happens to white people earlier, where what happens is you hit this age and you just put shit on. You just,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you don't care. People are like, that doesn't
Right.
fit, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What doesn't
It's
fit?
on. It's
What?
on, bitch.
What? You know, you just
What
look,
part
you
of
just
my
start
outfit?
saying what over and over again. You just walk around. It doesn't
Talking about
matter.
Any piece of my clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. Be more constructive, please. Be more descriptive with your feedback on my clothing choices.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. I think that's part of just not giving a shit anymore.
Oh no.
I think that
Yeah.
happens
Maybe.
eventually.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'll walk in the house with anything on. Especially if I'm just running up to the store. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, my kid made fun of my shoes that he told me I
Yeah.
should buy. I bought these. Well, no, because I went. Okay, here you go. Here's a perfect example. All right, so I was like my dog. No, not my dog. I was wearing some. I like to wear sandals occasionally. Because I like to show
Fancy.
off these dogs down here, and because they're pretty sexy. Most of them, not all 10 toes, but some of them are great. So
I call them shower
know,
buddies.
I was wearing them, and my sandals broke, right? And so I was like, oh my god, my sandals broke. What am I gonna do? And then I looked online, and I'm like, surely I can find a pair of sandals for
That's
less money
flip-flop.
than this. For less, and then
Yeah.
but the wild card is I'm a size 14, So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
you
find.
perfect though. Like in Cole, I mean in TJ Maxx.
No, I didn't
They
go to
got that
TJ.
Yeah,
wall
you can go
of
to TJ
shoes.
Maxx. You get
Oh,
online though.
should
You can't
have.
get
I
a.
went to Gabe's, Fred.
You can't get American
you went to
sizes.
Gabe. Yeah.
Gabe.
We know the
You guys-
story.
You got Gabe's?
I know you know.
You went to
You guys have
Gabe's?
Gabe's out there? Yeah, Gabe's is great.
No,
Yeah,
what is
Gabe's.
it? A Pizza Hut? Like a
It's
sandal slash pizza?
Gabe's Pizzeria and sandals.
it's essentially the Chinese buffet of merchandise.
Okay, yeah, it
A little
sounds
bit of this,
nice.
a little bit of that, some shit. You're like,
Yeah.
why would this be here?
Perfect.
Why do they need car batteries and fucking flip flops? But they have them, and I'm not complaining.
That's where you can find size 14 flip flops. It's like I gotta go.
Yeah,
They're by the
that's it.
batteries.
I found
Perfect.
I found perfectly fitting, beautiful, according to my son in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
My 11-year-old son, who's very cool, and I'm very old and out of it, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, those are really cool sandals. And I was like, oh, and they're $7. They're mine. Like $7. I don't
brown
give a shit
ones?
what they look like. No, the bright.
Yeah, you
no,
might
no,
even have
those
that
were
in
his. Those were
cash.
$11.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
those were his. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, those were his because apparently those fucking stupid alien shoes are cooler than my regular old flip flops. But so I like they're these bright blue Russell Athletic. So
Oh,
they're
nice.
Very old, and they're bright blue, like you can see them in the dark. But I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm wearing them.
That's a good brand,
He's
dude.
like, yeah, it's you know what? It stood the test of time.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
that's what matters to me. Is I
Right.
know
It got you home,
exactly
right?
what I'm getting.
I think it brings
got you
respect.
on.
I think it brings respect when you wear Russell Athletic. People will be like, "That's
Got Eagle on it.
what is he wearing? Oh, that's Russell. That's a Russell man."
That's
People
Russell.
were like, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
guy
he's
seen
got that
some
R8.
shit.
that guy bought that by some batteries. Yeah.
That guy managed to find a pair of shoes that won't match
Guy's been to
anything else.
Gabe's.
You guys are the games.
I told you I got the Gabe's exclusive tennis shoes, the Donovan Mitchells.
It's called long COVID, and
Mitchells.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get McNabbs. They got the Mitchells.
Hey, Gabe's is doing their best, damn it. TJ Maxx got all the McNabbs. That's the problem. They got the Colin Jost trainers.
yeah. I bought Jaw Rule knee pads at TJ Maxx. I didn't know they were going to skate or what. but- Have you seen
didn't
a
know
set
John needed
of
these.
Jaw Rule knee pads? You're going to buy them. I thought it was a smooth move by TJ Maxx.
The smart advertising. See, that's exactly it. You just need to get a celebrity attached to OK Taco somehow.
Oh
Like a-
yeah,
like a
I've
minor
reached out to
celebrity.
people, but they don't respond typically. I don't know what it is about the way I
Offer
phrase
them
things.
an exclusive something. Be like, you can- hey, you know,
I know I'm just such a bad like, and I'm just too honest with things. Like, I wrote a note before about sending you know how when you submit your podcast to things and you're like, hey, yeah, you think it's going to do something. Every time I would get annoyed in the process, and so I would just start copying people's descriptions from their podcast, and then I'd put them all in there, and then I would build this huge slideshow and then I'd narrate over. Like, I held this whole collection of Jim Abbott, the one-armed pitcher.
Sure. Great.
And I talked about how if he was to try to describe what he could do to somebody with one arm, and he was saying that he would win World Series with it, I doubt you guys would even listen. But I guess I'm the Jim Abbott. You know, I go into this whole thing. And so if I reach out to a celebrity, I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't go well. You know, I saw Ty Pennington. I told you about that one time. So
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
maybe
tough,
maybe
you
you
know?
just got to find the right guy. Like Tom Arnold and his Rice Krispie treats. That would go over well.
I could get along with Tom
loves
Arnold.
Rice Krispie treats.
Okay, that's a good game. What celebrities do I think I could get along with?
Who could you pull?
Tom Arnold
maybe,
he might be too much.
Well, I know you have a prior history with John Daly,
Yep.
so we're not gonna. I wouldn't want to bring him.
We don't
into
want to
the
pick that
mix.
scab. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would have to go. I don't know, man. I would think it could be somebody a little too old. Jack Nicholson,
Jack
Nicholson,
Nichols?
the actor.
Nicholson?
No,
Yeah,
Nicholas.
yeah. Jack
not the
Nicholson?
golfer. Either
Yeah.
the team,
one.
the T man or the T man or the actor. Yeah, whichever one.
But what would you pitch him to sell you? Like to
Oh, okay,
to
good
license
idea.
in your store.
Good idea.
That's the question. It's like Jack Nicholas presents.
Well, in that one movie,
Insults.
when he was in the movie Anger Management, I think that he went to that Buddhist monastery. So I could sell like a cheese-covered burrito with a picture of Jack Nicholson in that outfit and call it you know, like the Jack Nicholson or something, and then have him stand there in one of those orange, like, you know, those big orange jumpsuits that monks wear,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the without the prison sign on the back, but basically same jumpsuit.
Yeah, we know
yeah.
where they got it from.
Anyways, I could put him in that. That's an idea. I don't know what
See,
he
that's a good
costs.
start. That's a great start. Well, yeah, but you can
I
get
don't
a
know,
cutout.
Jack. You're gonna have to spend some money from Jack,
No,
man. That's
no, I don't
it's
think so.
freaking Jack Nicholson,
Just
man.
do it without
Nicholas.
his knowledge.
I think that, dude, but I don't want to. What I would want to do with Jack Nicholson isn't that. I would want to ride a motorcycle with him. You know, I'd want to
Sure.
Yeah.
get on the
Easy
back of a
Riders,
motorcycle or have him get on the back with me, but not ride side by side. I feel like that would be odd. I'd be staring at him the whole time.
Right.
the sidecar.
I want to whisper to him as we ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you want to be in the back, man. You want to ride bitch.
I want to ride
Have you, thought
bitch.
about, have you thought about getting one of those, what do they call those, 3-wheeled?
Oh, dude,
Slingshots?
have I ever? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, I've thought
wanna
about that.
You can rent those here.
I loved you in Wolf, Jack.
You should rent one, dude, and drive it here, and I'll ride back with you.
It's
Jack,
like,
you were the
it's like
best
$80 for every 4 hours. So let's do the math on
Oh,
how much that's gonna
yeah.
cost me.
We could probably buy
He
one.
was the best Joker.
He was a good Joker.
He was the best.
Dude, I've been watching all of the DC universe lately. We've switched from Marvel to DC, and
Sure.
Really?
it's interesting.
Crap.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just totally
terrible.
different.
It's terrible.
It is.
But they deal
Well,
with the same exact
Terrible.
premises.
Yeah,
It's just
always
told
a-
in a more
there's a threat. then
like
the
an ancient
heroes
way.
get hurt.
Like it's
Yeah.
Right. The
Yeah,
rule
yeah.
of thumb
Or-
is that DC makes really good shows
Mhm.
and really bad movies, whereas Marvel makes terrible shows and really good movies. That being said, I don't watch any of that shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't either until my kids got into it, and then now it's like I kind of get it because you know how when you transition from Breaking Bad, when you've watched everybody do every horrible thing on TV. Eventually,
Right.
it's like I guess I will watch this Thor, you know, get Natalie Portman cancer or pregnant or whatever. I don't know what's happening
Yeah.
here, but I'll watch it. You know,
I'm in. I'm in for this ride.
it's almost better than like you can't turn the news on. Not for any of the normal stereotypes like of I don't care. I just don't. It's all bullshit. It's like
Yeah.
you turn it on and there's 15 different commercials about everything. It's like I'll just turn this shit off and watch Marvel. I mean, at this point, so
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm with you. Well, let me tell you what not to turn on. My friend,
Okay, you got to.
is the Bracket Bastards podcast that I was on last week.
What the heck is that? Is that
You know what? Don't
soccer? Is it like a soccer?
It is
wishes.
a. You know what? Honestly, I do wish that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was anything other than what it was. And the good news is they'll never listen. So
Oh, they
anything
might.
did,
If they do,
I
hey,
wouldn't
what's
give
up?
a shit.
Yeah, what's up, bracket?
Yeah,
what's up,
hey,
bitches?
you bracket bastard guys,
What
you're
up, you
all
bastards?
unfunny and douchebags. So
Oh, man.
What happened to you
They
on this
are unfunny.
podcast? What did they do to
okay,
you?
so I signed up in like June, to be on this podcast, right? Because like you said, we're trying to make our way through this world. We're trying to get famous. Everybody says the best way to promote your podcast is to go on other fucking douchebag podcasts.
Correct. Thank you, and thanks for being on
As-
mine.
Welcome
exactly.
to the shit.
Right.
Right.
Welcome here.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm going to join up. I'm going to be on this. It has bastards in the name. I'm technically a bastard.
And what's
So-
fun is you
That's what
even
got you hooked.
Matt, you even talked to others about it. That's what's even fun. You told
Right, and
people
now
around
I'm-
you, and you're like, "I'm
right
going to
now-
do this," and they're like, "We don't give a shit."
Well, then I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
and then like an hour before it started, the guy like Facebooked me or whatever and was like, "Good for like 3:00." And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And
Yeah.
then I looked, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'll be there because I committed to it, and I
Yeah.
try to be a man of honor,
Right.
And so what we were doing is okay. So they
Can
set
we
up an
do it
elaborate-
here?
Yo, yeah, we can do it. Do you want to do it here?
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Hey, which is better, fucking popcorn or jujubes?
Popcorn.
Okay.
Popcorn.
But I need to know why it's better.
Because
And I
it
need
is.
you to tell me a terrible joke about why it's better. And I need that to happen 64 times in a row.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, the
Please.
reason, that's just tough. That's tough to do.
And like it was a lot of dick
So they
jokes.
do it there. They did it in bracket form, right? And they just
Right.
whittle
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So like like Who won? Did you stay for the
I
winner?
did not stay to the end.
What happened? How did you leave them? Did you say like, "Oh, my friend broke his leg"?
Thankfully, and this is going to sound really bad to your audience and to my audience, and so our audience, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so, just understand, everything is fine. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put this out. Everything is fine. Everything was fine by the time I got it, but thankfully, my daughter, my lovely daughter, who has been afflicted with type 1 diabetes, which is a whole thing, had a diabetic issue during the show.
You couldn't be happier. I mean,
and I was, dude. Okay, this sounds bad, and this is exactly.
I got to get a Coke.
It's the gift of the Magi.
Yeah.
It's the fucking gift of the Magi because I was like praying, like in my head, I was like, please find something to get me out of this situation.
This must have been bad because God listened to you.
Yeah, for once. So we're an
He
hour
almost killed your daughter.
Yeah, he's like, I got this.
Get you out of a project.
Yeah. We're like an hour into it.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten through the first round.
What did you say about the popcorn though?
I went popcorn. It was pop.
Yeah, but what was your funny story?
I said popcorn is better because it's fucking popcorn, and it was hot tamales was what I went up against. And I was like, hot tamales are gross, even though they're not that gross. But compared to popcorn, if you give me the choice,
yeah,
that must have been like
popcorn.
the 1 versus 63 or something.
I don't even know, Fred.
That
All
had
I
to be
know
like
is
a
at
one
one
of these-
point I had to choose.
Popcorn's high. It's got to be high in the
What's
bracket.
It was
another
all
one,
movie
right?
snacks. So it was all movie
Oh,
snacks.
Yeah, it was
wow.
all movie snacks.
There's
Right,
64 movie snacks.
No,
Yeah,
there's not. Because at one
Did
point
they do
they were like
goobers?
pizza.
I love goobers.
Pizza.
One time he's like pizza, and I was like, "What the fuck is?" No theater has pizza. And then one guy, and this is when I knew I was in the wrong place. One guy's like, "I love the pizza they have at the movie theater," and I was like, "This is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, this is all my nightmares come true." And then
Now I know at some AMC's they do
some
have
AMC
like
have
full service,
Yeah, they have.
and they may have
and-
pizza, but like that's only at AMC. They're not like across the nation. They are across the nation, but like we only got one, and it's 2 hours away.
and
from
these people were fairly close to you, Conrad. They were, I believe, they broadcast out of Iowa.
Oh no,
which
that's the problem.
I don't know enough
Yeah.
about our nation.
Those are hill people.
But
You know what I
I'm
mean?
pretty sure they're basically your best friends.
No, they're hill people. Iowans are.
They did sound like hill people.
people.
Yeah,
They had
they
hill
got
people
big.
vo-
They got big
had
foreheads.
vibes. They did have big foreheads.
I
Now that
know.
you mention it.
It's not
yes,
their
it's all
fault. I'm
coming
not.
true.
You know,
I
it's
shoulda-
just.
I should have asked you about Iowa before.
No,
I
I
sure
see-
enjoyed
Bangs
watching
never-
Parker. That's
When
a
I
thing
see
that-
Bangs,
yeah.
Bangs never go out of style.
I see a shovel walk through like a shadow of a shovel. I'm like, oh shit. You know, that's an Iowan.
Someone from Iowa.
Yeah, an Iowan's here.
Fred, can you name one city in Iowa
Iowa,
other than Des Moines?
Iowa City.
I think that's it. Yeah,
Oh, look at
Moines-
that technicality,
Des Moines,
but I think that counts.
yeah.
that's the only place. Iowa
True, and you got to remember it's Iowa, so just start doing that. Iowaville, Iowa-ness. You're gonna hit them all.
Iowaton. North Iowaton.
They're not too creative in Iowa. Just start saying just names of people. That's all it is.
Iowa town.
Smithville. Yeah.
Like people couldn't even believe that people would be like,
Loserburg.
really? You know, people would be like, we should make this a city. Be like, are you fucking kidding?
already is.
Where? What? This? All right, yeah.
There's nothing else
We're
here.
a city. But it's fine.
Flatland. That's what it's
Cool,
like.
man.
Sim,
You can tell.
Sim City.
You can tell.
That's too bad that you got on there, and that's that I don't like it when that happens on
It was
shows.
a bummer, man. Because a lot of times we've been on other shows. We try to appeal to people who want us
Yeah.
for some reason.
Well, my next question was, which would you rather have, Jujubes or pizza?
I would rather kill myself. That is like
No, tell me
It
one
was- it
funny
was
story.
dry, like,
we'll see. And
maybe if they added like some background music,
Yeah,
or
something.
something,
Hey,
man.
yeah.
Something. It
I don't
needed-
have
in the
any of
final
that.
in the
that
final
chicken
version,
needed some
Fred.
seasoning, man.
In the final version, they did add background music, but it
Did
made
they?
it worse.
Ah,
Because I tried to listen to it because I was like, well, maybe,
Do, do, do,
maybe
do.
sometimes when you create art, you know, and Conrad knows this, sometimes when you create art, you're like, this art is not great.
No,
yeah,
And
yeah,
then you
yeah.
go back and
I
you're
say
like,
that
hey,
about
you know what?
everything I create.
This art is almost passable.
Yeah.
It's acceptable now, weeks
Right.
later.
Right.
And so I listened to it and I was like, maybe this isn't as terrible. And then within 5 minutes, I was like, no, it's worse than I remember. We're done. And so I don't even know what I answered to most of them. But I do know I picked peanut M&Ms over standard M&Ms.
I think that's
Yeah,
an
I think
adult
that's
choice.
Like when I joined in,
Yeah, that's an adult
Yeah,
choice.
yeah, and
though.
see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
So if ever
you
one
get
of
more
us,
M for your M.
if Fred, Alan, or myself ever go on a podcast solo,
Yeah.
we kind of have this like I guess this pact, this like brotherhood pact of the at least one of the other ones will watch it.
Okay,
if
fair.
possible,
Yes.
and text the person during it and tell them what a shit job they're doing.
Right. That's smart. Yeah. You can't get a big ego on, the bracket
Keep it in
show.
check.
Yeah.
Keep it in check.
People are listening to
Yeah.
the bracket
So
show.
we did that, and
Yeah.
Fred and Alan were so kind as to tune in. And
Oh, great.
Fred is like, "You are the least white person on this show," and I was like, "That is concerning to me."
Oh, yeah. What was it? What kind of show was it? Did it have a diverse cast?
No, well, what do you consider diverse? People
Well,
with
it
different
was-
styles
Okay.
of
There
hair.
was 2 women.
People-
Oh.
People
That's
in
what's so
different
crazy. When
kinds
did
of
we start
garages,
allowing women to podcast, everybody?
Right?
Did we sign off on that? Here's what I don't understand. It took me freaking 6 or 7 years to convince my wife to let me record a freaking podcast. And then I do it for freaking 6 years, and then all of a sudden, I got to sit here and listen to every ad is some bitch telling me that I got to listen to her podcast is going to make my life better, It's like, what are you talking about? I'm not listening to your freaking podcast, lady. And it's not because you're a woman. It's because I've tried hard to do something to avoid talking to you, called podcasting. And now you're here. Now you're
Now you
building.
found out the club.
You're sending me emails. You want to come on my podcast? Talk about what? How much I can't stand women? What are you talking about? This is a bad idea.
Like, I'm married.
I'm
know
married. I
that.
love my wife. I like one woman and a daughter. That's it. That's all I can
That's all
stand.
you
The
need.
rest
That's
are,
all you need.
yeah. Unless they're older ladies. I'll take
Sure.
an older lady.
Grandma. Yeah, grandma.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the gilf.
Got a little
Oh
grandma.
yeah, no, yeah. You just find a sweet old lady. They get it. They understand stuff.
Old ladies can be nasty too, though.
Yeah, I was like, they're like, I'm
Old ladies can be
white.
nasty.
Well,
boy.
they're just good with their hands. They're just good ladies. They're just.
True.
They always know shit that you don't know. I
Bony,
mean,
creepy.
Right.
you just walk. They're always like not hypnotist, but the other person that you said, a mystic or a mesmerizer or whatever.
Yeah, mentalist.
Yeah, old women
who
are
is
like
This
that.
person that we had on the show. Now I'm gonna have to go back and
Tell you,
listen.
man. You will. It was probably what? About 2 months ago?
Is that Peter Dinklage guy on your show ever? He's a
Peter
little.
Dinklage.
That's a,
Tried.
that guy could cast a spell on you. I'm sure if he wanted to.
He said his time was short. He didn't.
Yeah,
do shit.
he carries a little spell in his pocket.
I gotta know.
Yeah, you don't remember?
I swear to God, guys, I truly
Yeah.
do not remember.
Did Peter Dinklage kill Jeffrey Epstein? Can we talk about that on Facebook Live? Is this? Can I break that story?
Fred, that's 3 out of or what?
He's
4
below
out of
the
5
camera.
movies.
Somebody's the brought up.
No, not
Oh,
so, no,
damn
no.
it.
Hold on.
It's in the
Now, hold on a
ether.
second. Let's clarify this. Not
No.
somebody has brought up Jeffrey Epstein.
Somebody
One
brought up
person
no
named Fred.
No, it was not me.
No, I never brought him up.
And-
Well, you didn't bring him up tonight. I
He's
brought
a
him
close
up.
personal friend. I mean, I don't know that guy,
He's misunderstood. I'll tell you that. Probably.
right?
I mean, I
You
don't
ever
know.
just talk to the guy. You got to talk.
Yeah.
As a guy
I
who owns a
mean,
restaurant, he understands the trouble of
Yeah.
owning your own island.
Right. That's
Yeah.
similar
Everybody thinks
problem.
it's just fun and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
How do you get the hostages in and
A lot
out?
of
I mean,
work.
the visitors in and out.
You ever tried to gas up an island, Fred? It's putting gas in an island, Fred.
It's a fucking island.
Damn near.
What gas that needs?
You ever try to take the island down to the store to get some cigarettes?
Yeah, that
Fucking
shit has to
impossible.
come here. It's an island. You can't take this shit anywhere. That would be cool to own an island and do a podcast about the problems of owning an island.
Like, just island shit.
Yeah. That would be
Crabs
hilarious.
everywhere.
Like, welcome to the show, Unrelatables. Here we are. Here's my problem,
Coconuts. Coconuts again.
Coconuts.
I had a couple friends fly out. We were trying to get them a nice dinner, but of course the chef was bitching that the fruit trees weren't producing enough good fruit. And I said, whose fault is
He
that?
said the mangoes were not in season. And
And I said, why didn't you
I was
fly
like, have
them
a mango
in?
tartare.
You can use the
This
drone.
quality of mango.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. That'd be a good
We
show.
had to call in. We had to call Juan Julio from the island, the closest island, to
The
to bring it
tequila
to us
man.
via rowboat. Of
Juan,
course, we didn't pay him.
bring your tequila and your donkey. Please, hurry. Yeah.
It's just like that movie, The Menu. That's exactly what it would be like.
I never watched that movie.
Oh, you should watch that movie.
Well, I enjoy
If
mysteries
you
like
like
that.
menus,
Yeah, and I like menus.
Oh man, if you
you're
love
gonna
menus,
love
man.
Yeah.
that menu.
Good. Yeah, that's why I was good. I was on the edge. I was like,
You're gonna love
does it
this
have good about menus or bad?
It's,
But,
I just warn you, it's about a dinner menu, not a lunch menu.
that's
so
tough. Yeah.
That's some people's kink. You know,
Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit different. I can try to figure it out though.
you can work it out.
Yeah.
I think by the end of it, you'll be into it, and you'll be like, hey, how can I incorporate parts of this movie into my menu?
Well,
And
is there part that's about murdering? Isn't it? Isn't it a murder
you
show?
know, I really just kind of stuck with the food part of it.
Really?
Okay.
I was really more interested in their plating techniques.
Right.
So I would pretty much zone out when they weren't showing the plating.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was. I think it was a comedy. I don't fucking know.
Right. Well, there's different ways
Rusty
to
Diamond.
there's different ways to watch different things. You know.
Oh, Rusty Don. Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Props to
Dollar
him.
is a dollar.
He did not.
Yeah, $1. That's it. Yeah.
He did not hypnotize any of us though.
Oh,
he
you
was
found
a
out.
mentalist.
Well, he hypnotized you, Matt.
See?
Well, he may have hypnotized me.
Yeah, you
retrospect.
didn't remember it. That
It's-
Rusty Dollar was the key word.
His name was Rusty Dollar, man. That's awesome.
Hey, I trust anybody named Rusty with my life.
And I heard him on the Bracket podcast, and he was great, dude. He
Yeah, he's
liked
probably way better
popcorn.
than I was.
He
They
was-
probably picked something that wasn't as seemingly interesting as movie snacks.
Oh,
to
that is a crazy
debate.
thing. I can't
Top
imagine
64 magicians.
formatting. And I'm just kidding about ladies. I mean, kind of,
We love
but you know,
ladies.
that's totally was just a rant. I got off, and I'm sorry, and I just want to apologize to all
No, the good news is
women.
no ladies listen to this. Except for
And my
Laura.
wife does, and yours I heard subscribe to, and I feel bad about it now. And I hope they start a
She did it as a
podcast
gag.
about dishes or whatever they would podcast about, and it's going to be great. And I hope it's successful. Okay, it'll be better than mine.
Better
I
than
know.
ours. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I know it is.
One podcast about dishes and how they never get done.
Yes.
And she's fucking
And they
on
could just sit
iTunes
there
top
and
100.
complain like we do about us, and it would get a million
Oh,
views, and everybody
right.
would love it. And
Would.
and so you know, knowing
couldn't
that
listen.
knowledge is why we tried to prevent women for so long from getting into this industry.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's why we called it podcasting. You know how stupid that sounds? Sounds like fishing. It sounds like nobody even likes the name. Podcasters
Yeah,
hate the
something no
name.
one would want to do.
Nobody wanted to do it. Women didn't want to be associated. Men thought perfect. Finally.
We got
Got
one.
something
We
up our own.
And all of a sudden, Sarah Silverman comes in there, you know, knocking on the door, and we're like, okay, I guess we'll let her in. She's kind of funny, right? Remember the time she shit on the donut store or whatever she did? Yeah. We let her in, frickin' come in there. Ruined podcast, dumped Jimmy Kimmel,
Open the door,
turned him
man.
into a damn liberal. All of a sudden, we were voting. People are talking about voting again. What the hell's going on? Just kidding, Matt.
Alan sent me the podcast. Apparently on. I don't remember.
What's going on? Sorry.
I don't know. Alan sent me a link to prove that existed, and I do remember it in a little bit.
Oh, you mean
I
you're...
just remember that he was
Telling
in
you.
Oregon or something.
I told
He
you.
kept walking around with his phone.
You can't dabble with that,
Rusty
dude.
Diamond is the,
Yeah,
is the
Rusty
key
Dollar.
word.
Rusty Diamond
I'm
was
not-
the keyword because you didn't remember until we said his name.
Yeah, once you said Rusty Diamond.
There's a- and then-
Because it's not because I was like, oh, stripper? No, not a stripper, not stripper Rusty Diamonds, mentalist Rusty Diamonds.
Yeah, different person.
Yeah,
Right?
different, slightly different person.
Different skills.
Rusty Diamonds.
Yeah, Busty Diamonds. That's right. I got that confused. My bad.
Busty Diamond.
That is a disgusting name for a stripper, the Rusty Diamond. Ugh. Gross.
I love it.
Yeah, she's talented,
Welcome to
but
Strip Talk with Rusty Diamonds.
Busty Diamonds.
It's their new podcast.
Hey, that would sell.
she's just a haggard old stripper. It's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is
See,
great.
And that's the other thing I wonder about. Did you see Britney Spears dancing with knives? By
I
the way?
did, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I got
What
the
is
Google
wrong
People
with
have
alert.
said I saw somebody on Facebook because Facebook is a cesspool.
Mhm.
Thank you for everyone who's watching this on Facebook right now. You're sitting in a cesspool.
Yeah, we
just
see
like
you,
us.
man. Yeah, we see you, dude.
Claw your way out of it. The fucking threads, I guess.
We're
whatever
here.
That is. So no, but she was like somebody was like, "That's not Britney Spears." They replaced her with a cyborg, and I'm like, there is no cyborg on Earth that could dance that bad.
Oh well,
Like, there's no robot that can dance that poorly.
it was like a camera angle too. You think maybe?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I
She's
mean-
got plenty of videos like that with that
Yeah.
same angle.
She gets into
dancing.
that. That
She
is
gets- I don't
a.
understand it, man.
I think it's a
Like,
Like,
southern.
you kind of thinking now, like
The
maybe
Florida
her dad
angle.
was right for taking her money,
But
You know
what
what I'm
else does
saying?
she
Like-
have to do? That's the thing.
Dude.
What else? If you're
bro. She's a fucking multi-millionaire, dude. You can do
Well,
whatever
okay.
the fuck you want.
have
Okay.
you heard of inflation,
Not
Fred?
dancing in the fucking phone.
Okay,
with
but what
knives
if you
and shit.
hate? What if you hate what you do? What made you the money?
Right.
And so you have all the money,
But you need the fame.
But you don't, and you don't even want the fame anymore. But you don't even. Your whole identity was being this thing. This what she is.
Yeah.
Some lady dancing with a snake and now knives in a kitchen. You know, in her mind, it's the same place. I think she's like, I'm in that red suit with that snake on my neck. It's like, no, you're in a kitchen with knives and your kids are behind
With
you.
your little
Like
dogs
it's
running
different.
around. You gonna cut with
Yeah.
them.
There were dogs running around.
Yeah, with those dogs behind you, and I think,
Oh, she'd have hit one
but I
of them
don't know what she'd do. Like, it's like, what can she do? She can't go anywhere in this country,
Right.
or any country.
Yeah.
I mean, she can go anywhere she wants, but not as hidden.
As long as it's in her house.
Just
Yeah.
by island.
First thing that bitch needs to do is get rid of her phone.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just a mistake. She's trying to stay relevant
Relative.
to her
Yeah.
old self and talents, and which is understandable, but she's not changing.
I heard
Because
that her and Madonna was gonna go on tour.
Sure.
Oh wow.
Like
There's a punchline coming.
that's it.
Oh, that's really gonna happen.
That's no punchline. That's it.
No, dude, I
Like,
saw them at
heard that
Carrabba's, and they're good.
That's what they're going to tour Carrabba's around the country.
Yeah, they're actually really good.
They're going to call it the breadstick tour.
Robin's near you. Brittany and
The
Madonna.
noodle arms.
Yeah, she'll cut your bread, dude. It's great. It's really Britney Spears. You can wash your feet or whatever. It don't
That's
matter.
right. You want to see look deep into her soulless eyes? You can do it. 'Cause she's
I don't know,
bringing
man.
Your entree.
I've been talking about that. I had a friend of mine who was a big Britney Spears fan, and a lot of people often would call him gay when people would say that to people.
You can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
That was in the
Was that-
04,
was he the
2004. You
liberal
could
dude?
call people gay, and
Yeah.
people called this dude gay all the time for his Britney Spears love, and I wasn't
Which
one of
makes
them.
no sense.
No, I didn't get it. Whatever. And so, anyways, as his fandom progressed and time went on and her career dwindled, I was like, hey, man, I think Britney needs help. You know, she really needs. I didn't mean to choke like I was crying right there. But I think she needs help because it was during that conservatorship, and he's like, it's good.
Right.
He's trying to take control of her. I was like, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the other way around. I think this person is a lunatic, and he's maybe trying to
Right.
help her. And I think clearly that is, you can always get lucky in the end. I mean, he would just, it's not like he'd call me and be like, hey, I told you she's got all her shit together. She runs a Fortune 500 company, you know? I'm like, you were right. It was the conservatorship, you know? It didn't matter, but
You should reach out to him and be like, see, I told you you were gay.
yeah, I told you.
Yeah,
She needed her dad, man. She needed her dad. She didn't have her dad. That was the whole
Yeah.
problem. And he was the only one that was like, this lady is freaking nuts, though. I mean,
Dang,
she can't have a checking account. She can't have shit.
But you gotta think about it. How old was she? Was like 16?
When I met her, she was, around that age.
When I met her. She was like 19, I think, when her first explicit
again?
video came out. Yeah.
When our first upskirt at,
Because if I recall correctly, I remember looking her up and making sure that I wasn't a creep for being like, hey, now, hey, you got to do that, man.
You do. I always wondered if it mattered. You know what I mean? I felt like once I was doing that, the creepy thought had already happened.
Sure.
But
yeah, but you
I was
know,
hoping
it's
that
one of
God
those-
would sort it out in the
You got to
end.
push it back. You got to push
Let me
it down.
just see how much shame I need to
Yeah.
apply to myself.
God would be like going through his Rolodex, and he'd be like, okay, Conrad, well, it looks here like you looked up Britney Spears. I'm like, yeah, but check out when I checked her date of birth.
Right.
You know?
See? And then I was only attracted to her for like 4 minutes before I
Yeah.
realized she was underage.
Notice if you zoom into this picture of my life, God, notice that there's two windows open, one with her and one with her date of birth. I noticed it first.
Right. Don't you see?
Don't you see?
I thought you knew everything.
Oh my god.
See if he has
So,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
time.
no,
But she's doing
nuts
good.
over there.
She is nuts. Well, that's part of being a celebrity, man. Trust me.
Yeah, man. For like
Possibly.
Trust me.
Trust
crazy
me.
life, dude. Crazy life.
Yeah,
That-
that's why.
that shit-
That's why I've shunned the celebrity life.
Yeah.
Well, you were familiar with it. Didn't your mom win the Lifetime of Chocolate?
She did. She won a lifetime of caramello bars.
Well,
That's
yeah.
correct.
So that's
right, and that was
That's a certain
that
amount of
was-
celebrity.
That was my brush with celebrity, and I was like, I can't handle the pressure. I can't handle the heat.
Caramello, man. That's,
Yeah.
That's what they
That's
used
right.
to
And they're
call
like,
it.
hey, caramello, and I'm like, I have a name.
yeah.
I don't remember it.
Go
but
home and you'd be like, I'm
pretty
never
sure
going to
it's
eat this
not
candy again. Throw it through the wall.
Dude, I cannot eat that candy to this very day.
Nobody's eating it.
Fight with your mom. It's like, I never know
It's
why you enter
caramel.
these contests, Mom. You know what the kids call me?
If I ask her
never
about it
thought
now,
I would
she's gonna
win.
be like, you owe me for all those caramellos that you threw at buildings. Which
Yeah.
was a lot.
That's a lot of celebrity. I mean, it's not that you live the same life as Britney Spears, but you can
Right.
relate to it.
I mean, it's
Little bit.
75% the same.
Yeah.
The
Man
problem
was in
is
front
once
of
you
dancing,
become
dancing with caramellos.
right. That was,
Dude, if she was, you should be making that video. Whichever one of you
If only I
Photoshop.
had my bikini.
Yeah, I'm
maybe.
gonna have to throw some Carmelos in place of those knives and post your episode. That is it.
We totally. I could recreate that dance. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that is hilarious.
That shit was insane.
No,
man.
dude. But see, that's the thing. You become a one-trick pony, and everywhere you
Yeah.
go, you're that thing, and you're not
Right.
like me. I was the caramello guy. I was no longer this human being with feelings and emotions. I was
Yeah.
only known for my delicious treats that I stuffed into my pants everywhere I went.
So yeah,
Did
exactly.
you give them out when they be all melty?
But
like,
if you
yeah,
enjoyed that,
chocolate?
like what if you by you using Carmelos as insulation in your pants, what if that got you millions of dollars? You know what I mean? And
Because in today's world,
in today's money, it would be
would've
worth millions. But anyways, I'm just saying if that got you millions of dollars, but then all of a sudden people didn't like you, you still had the money and you still had the pants. And you're like, should I keep doing this? Don't you guys still like this? And I don't think Britney Spears is acting any different than she was
No.
25 years ago. It's just
I
that
don't either.
Yeah.
we now look at it at this angle rather than the angle that they showed us before. And
I think it's really her
Right.
makeup that does it, because her makeup
Yeah.
has made her from like, oh,
Right.
like potentially sexy
She
lady
did that herself
to like,
too.
holy shit, this girl is on drugs.
right.
And there's
Her
nothing
panties
wrong with
was too
drugs.
big.
I don't know if
Her
she's
panties
on.
was too big, like-
Do you think it's drugs?
I don't think it's drugs. I just think that it could be drugs. And again, it could be.
It-
There
I
are
believe
lots
it.
of different
I
types
believe
of
it
drugs.
was drugs. Those are the lasting effects of
Yes, it's
drugs.
residual.
Oh yeah, it could be
residuals,
that.
yeah,
And a lot
yeah.
of people would do like Jack LaLanne juice weeks and stuff like
yeah.
that out west. And
That's true.
she looks like she's freaking she's done a lot of juicing. You can tell that those are juicing
She's
muscles.
juicing, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
juicing,
cantaloupe muscle that she's holding.
Yeah.
Those
She's on
biceps
the
are.
cleanse.
It is. It's built out of
She's like, I juiced a lot of
detoxifying.
heroin.
See, like Matt needs more protein. He admitted that to us,
Right.
and thank you for doing that earlier. It takes a lot of
That
courage.
took a lot of courage.
And so I appreciate that. But Brittany, she's just been juicing too much. She's been detoxifying. She needs to get toxic. She needs to get back in.
maybe she needs a
Detoxify.
little something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Some of
some.
those knives can't give her.
I think she needs to be on drugs. You guys are right. She's post drugs. Get her back on them. Let's pump her up.
It
and-
looked like they were the same knives too. It's like she bought the knives purposely
specifically
for
for the dance.
for the dance.
Guys,
It's like-
what are we doing? Let's combine all of this.
like
We've done this
dollar
tonight.
store kitchen knives.
Okay.
We've
Brittany-
combined it. All right. All we've got to
Right.
do now is
think we
Britney
got it.
Spears owns the island, right?
Right,
Britney Spears
yeah.
owns the island that we want to have. Okay.
Yeah.
Britney Spears does the podcast. Now all of a sudden it is famous. Britney Spears is doing the podcast. We're on there as consultants, obviously, podcast professionals. Britney, we know how to hook up to Facebook Live.
Right? She would love that.
Yeah. Check it out. I'd tell her what
figured it
Facebook
out.
is, you know
We
what I
gotta
mean?
look.
I'd talk to her about emails and shit. I'd tell her about all this shit. And she'd be like, what? This technology genius came over and talked about it. If I buy him an island, we'll do a podcast about the struggles of an island. And I'm like, great. And then I'll say,
Island people.
See, and we do all three of them at the same
we
time.
make it a not-for-profit. We take in dogs as donations. Okay?
And then we feed our
Freddie,
guests.
you murder all the freaking dogs, okay?
Right. With the
We-
knives. that Britney Spears-
Then
Personally?
Britney Spears and I fly over in a chopper, dude, and we freaking unload like they do with like peanut butter and stuff, and unload all of this food to the
Hundreds of
homeless.
dogs.
You know, all this, cooked dog meat. You know, dogs off the spigot and stuff. Throw it all down. Like, here you go, guys, eat up.
Right,
You know, we're
dog.
solving
She
it.
did
We're
have
fixing
those
it.
little dogs
Me and
next to her
Brittany got it.
anyway.
Watch our podcast, dude.
It's
Pod-
rated dog meat, like
And then-
sets of meatballs.
And then
I'll call it
Conrad goes
K-19,
back.
dude. I'll call it COVID-19. That's our island name,
Perfect.
but with a K. Yeah.
But not where you would think.
K9. It's about the dogs, K9, but
COVID.
yeah, K9 and then teen and then
Oh, yeah,
island.
there you go. Yeah, it's just K9, but then it opens up.
Right.
Yeah, because it's
COVID-19.
like Jeffrey
Right.
Epstein's
But see,
island,
then-
it
It's a
has to
teen
be
island.
teens after
Yeah.
teen. Yeah.
Right, it's
then-
a teen. They help us kill the dogs and learn lessons about life.
Right, yeah. Learning life lessons, survival. You know what I'm saying? They got to chase the dogs down
Right.
with
Exactly.
the knives.
Everybody,
Right,
everybody's great.
in the jungle.
And
of the
then,
island.
but see, here's the twist: is then you get this exclusive deal. You can only sell Britney Spears dancing knives at OK Taco.
That's right, dude. You mix all of these worlds together, and what you've done is you've done what all the billionaires, I think, talk about, where you've got multiple sources of income now. You know, you go to your financial
all about passive
advisor,
income.
and you got your taco money, and you got your other money. Then you're like, Then I got my Island Britney Spears podcast money coming in right now. Where do I put this? It should be about billion. You know, it's $1 billion right now. Just trying to. It won't fit in my bank account, mister. So, anyways, that would be fun.
I'm gonna buy one of them Dollar Tree knives and like do that. I'm gonna just like get some tape and write Britney Spears dancing knives. Like it's my new hustle.
You can use your own knives, Freddie. You have knives at your house, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
you don't have to
That's why I
buy.
won't let him get to
You don't have to buy Britney Spears knives.
You gotta have the packaging.
It's all about the brand.
Oh, I thought you meant that you were gonna buy them now for like just a dance you're gonna do.
No. I'm not
He's
gonna
gonna buy them.
myself.
He's gonna buy them, relabel them.
Oh, I got
sell them to Britney Spears.
Oh, that's like when I spray painted those reading glasses and sold them as Eclipse sunglasses last time.
Exact same thing.
Yeah, that was
Cut
easy.
pieces of cardboard up, and you're like, "Look, Eclipse sunglasses."
Easy $5, dude.
Hey, are you guys going to be in the path of the eclipse that's coming up? I heard there was an eclipse coming up.
Is another one coming?
Yeah, there's one.
Not for us.
I think probably we typically get any kind of cosmic.
That's the one that's gonna bring the aliens.
Yeah, the cosmic like to talk down here. I think they show up in our weird like Salt Lake City middle. We got Native American ground, so they're here constantly. They're here all the time. So
yeah, I wanted to mention I've been watching Reservation Dogs,
and
it's set in Oklahoma. Yeah,
that's yeah. There's a lot of that. I think there were scenes that were shot in Tulsa, which is like 40 minutes from here. So
right, yeah.
But yeah, we're in. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's probably very similar to anywhere in rural Carolinas. It's just that kind of country. It's just Casey's, and it's all it is a general store or stuff like that scattered throughout trailer parks. And so when we show up with the pizzazz, and we start shoving Airstreams into the sides of buildings and saying podcasts and arcades and crap, then we become the aliens of the ground.
Right.
That's what it almost feels like.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Conrad is a lizard person.
Yep, yeah, probably that might fit. I've read about them. I think I got a little bit of that going on somehow. So.
Did you see that? He blinked and his eyes went all wacky.
Yeah, they went sideways.
It's just like that video you showed me.
I was that guy on the flight that the lady was pointing at, that nobody ever saw.
You're not real.
Yeah, I was like, I know.
You're like, yeah, no shit, lady.
I'm trying to get back and sell tacos for a living. Clearly, I'm not real. That's my job.
Like, all I ever wanted to do was to be real. Apparently, that's not going to work for you.
I was like, listen, can you just sit down and tell me what your favorite movie snack is? We get this podcast started?
Right, come on. Susan, you just got to tell me, is it Goobers or Jujubes? Which one is it, you bitch?
Speak freely.
I've been asking you the whole trip.
Yeah.
Just explain to me why you like nachos more than pizza.
I always like to listen. I mean, it's just fun. That would be a fun podcast to set up a microphone at a movie counter to listen to people order snacks.
And make them do it.
Yeah.
Maybe,
like they come up and you're like, do you want this or this?
Because you're going to get, if you were to guess what somebody does order and then see what they do, that would be a fun game.
See, that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
That would be more fun.
Right.
Because you'd be like, this guy's going to get a goober. This is a goober guy.
Well, see, and again, not to go back. This is the problem, though, is that the people on that podcast would be like, hey, goober.
Yeah.
Like a wiener. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then they're like, what was it? M&Ms. M&Ms are salty chocolate balls. You remember that show? Chocolate salty balls? And I'm like, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And then God's like, hey, let's try that with your daughter. And I'm like, oh, okay, gotta go.
Yeah. So they had the kind of humor that was, sometimes people will do that, where it's over the top, like an over the top, overtly sexual. Right in your face. Like that's.
You can turn anything into sexiness. Like it's so easy.
It's surely
low hanging fruit.
It is, and so it's
just like my balls.
Well, and I think that just comes from if you did this like you guys seem, which I know, with your fandom of talk radio style, then that's where you still try to talk around a subject to make it funny.
It more fun.
Yes, rather than directly to the point. Yeah, we all saw the bullseye, guys. But that's why we were flying around.
We all know that men and women touch each other's butts, and that's how babies are made. We all know that.
Sure, that is how babies are made, in the butt, and we teach our kids that. That's what we, and that's what we want to do.
Every kid in this neighborhood.
We've been teaching kids that, all of them, every kid. Which is
on my island.
Britney Spears is a co-owner. It's a partnership.
Like whatever you do, kids, don't touch butts.
And it's a not-for-profit. You guys are welcome to come to this island anytime.
Not till you're 13.
And those places, you know what's so crazy? And I want to thank, what is that new movie that? I want to thank Sound of Freedom for sponsoring tonight's podcast as we continue to talk about the problem with human trafficking. Just want to remind all of you viewers that
I'm going on the human trafficking podcast.
as we joke about this subject, it's only because we see how much of a problem that it truly is. Yeah.
We're just trying to bring awareness.
You're trying to bring awareness.
Conduct a 13-year-old Latino girl or an 11-year-old white girl. Which would you do and why?
Dude, I always thought it would be a hilarious app, like a traffic app, to have it called human trafficking. And when you were on the bridge,
just traffic.
Yeah, it's just traffic for that's what it is. That's it is just human traffic. And so, but I tried to get the website, and it was like money. I don't know how much. It really wasn't as much as you thought it would be to get humantrafficking.com. What's that? Sorry.
Humantrafficking.org.
Yeah, you could get it at .org or .gov. .gov was taken. But yeah, it's probably taken. But no, that was I don't know. I was doing I had that idea, and then I had an idea for a on a website. You know how, like, to get people to go to a website, because why would they? I mean, even for a show, it's like you listen via the apps that stream it. So how do you get people to go to a website? And I wanted to build a human trafficking slot machine, digital slot machine thing that when you pulled the slot machine, it had like trunk of car, you know, open trunk of car or something. You know what I mean? And then like white panel van. And there's really no point to it. Like when you win, it's like you never really feel like you win. Even if you got all, you know, girl running aways, you would look at your spouse and you'd be like, I'm on this Taco's website where it's a human trafficking slot machine that I, for some reason, got 3 running away girls, and it says you win. Click this link. And it's like
you win a free taco.
You don't even know what you do. You know. I always thought that would be funny if you clicked it and it took you. You know, it could go anywhere. It's just a fun game, a maze. That's for nobody, because nobody. That's when you. Unfortunately, you will do those things sometimes. I'm sure you've done these where you've put them out there, and when nobody finds them, it's like, man, you guys, there was a joke that was just laying there.
Yeah, our website is full of
it's like,
just go to it, anyone, ever.
Right,
please.
and you're going to find all of these hidden things.
So many hilarious jokes.
I mean, there's pretty great stuff. Around. Yeah, pretty great stuff on there. I'm not going to say that Mark Normand completely word for word ripped off my act by reading my website, but did he? Yeah. Totally did. And I'm not going to sit here and call out great comedians that people think are great, like Nate Bargatze for stealing my act. Right. You know, it's cool that he wants to have jokes.
And I'm not going to call out Bert Kirshner for being fat like me.
Right, and the machine.
First,
you were the freaking machine. Matt the Machine was the machine.
I take my shirt off everywhere.
You always have.
I brown-eyed an elderly couple at an Applebee's in 1998.
Freaking Rusty Diamond. I remember that.
And that's true.
Chris Rock slapped me backstage at the Oscars first.
That's true.
But it was backstage, so nobody saw it.
Yeah, and that's bullshit, because it's, you know, you're the same. That's what I'm saying. They're stealing from us. They're taking our material, and we're sitting here having to watch successful, you know, comedians and women
come up
of all things
do things.
It's not the comedians; it's the women. Problem is the thing.
I didn't mean to go on that. I hate it when I do that. That's a stupid. You know, I fix on something sometimes. You know, and I'll come back to it, and I do women, and it's just get in trouble. I get in trouble every time. Go too far. You know, I say something.
But we're trying. Hey, you know what? We're getting better every day.
I think so.
Every day.
And now we can start the show.
Yeah.
So,
what do you guys want to talk about on the show tonight? We're gonna get to the.
This is exactly how they always go.
Get to the show.
So we have. I would like you before. You know, I know we're running a little bit long, but I would like you, please, Conrad, to tell me or tell Alan about the amazing discovery that you discovered.
Well, Alan, you're a fan of technology, obviously. And so with that comes a lot of power, and you have the power to purchase the Peacock Network. It's a streaming service by NBC. You can purchase it on all streaming devices, phone, whatever. And when you buy that app, and I encourage you to at least go a 7-day trial, because Peacock's not paying for this, Alan. I know it seems like I work for Peacock and I have the money of Peacock. I don't. This is all LED lights. This is $7 at, Amazon. This is nothing behind me. Okay.
Conrad has no cock money.
What I'm saying is I don't get paid by Peacock to say that Peacock, in their infinite wisdom, decided to hook the audience by letting them know that we can now watch what Reba McEntire is picking to watch at home, Alan. And so if you're thinking, why do I want to buy Peacock as a streaming service? What you're going to do is be like, well, have you ever wanted to sit on the sofa, click on a TV and say, what's Reba watching? Yeah, I think you have. Because once you've, just let me give you one idea. Does Reba like to unwind with a little bit of mystery? Does she like to unwind with Dan Aykroyd's Ghostbusters? She absolutely does. Not Ghostbusters 1 or 2.
I like that it's only like Peacock related.
There's 3 Billy Madison movies on. 3 Adam Sandler movies. There's Ghostbusters. There was On Golden Pond, which I actually watched like a little bit. It's actually not a bad movie. And I don't know if Reba wrote it or whatever. And she might have wrote all these movies. Is the whole thing.
She produced.
The thing is, when it comes to trying to find out where all the money goes. And I found out it goes to NBC. And what did NBC do? They gave it to Reba McEntire. And I think you couldn't have picked a better person to help me and probably Alan decide at home what to watch. And so I don't know if we can splice this video together and send it to Peacock, but it'd be nice to send them a thank you video to counteract the Reba McEntire introduction video to her curated content. That happened. She's now a member of The Voice. She told me last night on Peacock. And she wanted me to not watch The Voice, but to watch Happy Gilmore after I finished on Golden Pond. So, anyways.
And Alan, just so you know, just to add to that, if you subscribe to Pluto TV, you can watch Britney Spears recommendations, which is just a blank screen.
Yeah. I was watching Britney last night, all night.
So she was like, "Don't watch The Voice."
Do I go on the website and Peacock website?
Well, I just encourage you guys can take this. I used to do it all the time, and I should do it again. I told my wife when I watched Reba McEntire explain to me what TV was last night that it would be great to have. You guys should have it in your soundboard. And anytime you're doing a show, every once in a while, Matt just be like, "Hey, what's Reba watching?"
Yeah, what's Reba watching?
And you just click it, and it don't matter. Hey, y'all, I'm watching Ghostbusters tonight. Here's a little. Hey, y'all, this is Reba McEntire. And when I'm not getting fancy,
tonight I'm watching Jag.
She dies. Reba McEntire. She's the Carmelo. She is the Carmelo person. She is Britney Spears. She became Reba McEntire for 2 songs, and she has stuck with that since. She hasn't written. She's like, what new music?
What are some Reba McEntire? I don't even know.
She sings about being a hooker, fancy.
Fancy. Oh,
where her mom dressed her up, child trafficking again, and also she sang about
tonight. I'm watching.
Lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, the Georgia Lights, and I think that's a cover.
An innocent man.
Yeah,
that's a cover.
And so she sang, but she got famous for those 2 songs, and then I think she blew a guy or something like. And then all of a sudden, she's opening a restaurant in Oklahoma, and she's my competition, so I got to call her out.
I wonder if she ever recommends her own show, because she did have a show.
Yeah. Well, guess what her restaurant's called? Reba's.
Oh, it's of course.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a show named Reba?
Yeah, there's a show. Yeah. She had her own TV network. It went for probably 35 seasons. It's one of the longest running shows ever, where she sang the same song, Fancy, the whole show. Yeah. And she's just 25 minutes.
It was really based on that song. The whole show. Yeah. The premise of the show was based on that song.
It's just her, it would be scenes of people doing stuff, and then her coming in singing Fancy. And be like, so imagine Happy Days, and then she kicks the door and singing that. It's like, it was good.
Like you said, the time her mom prostituted her and all that. Good times. Good time. Great for sitcom. It's a great sitcom.
It was a good way to launch a career and a great woman, and she's picked just a terrific playlist on Peacock, and I got to thank her for that.
Right. So
thank you for giving that time.
Go to p-cock.com.
Yeah, please.
And sign up. Register for your free trial.
Right.
I assume that's how you spell it. I don't know.
I already did. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Alan's in it. He loves it.
And see if we can find K9-teen.com too, where we send dogs to Teen Island where they kill them to feed the homeless as a not-for-profit. Just while you're
I love it. I love
clicking
it.
around.
I love the idea of Teen Island. It's like, what a great name for this horrifically like terrible place where all the dogs die.
And people will
Teen
think it's
Island
related to
this weekend.
COVID too. If you say it's K-19, they'll be like, "Oh, it's like COVID-19." It's like it's not related at all.
Like, no.
It's just a happenstance. And we just murder dogs with a
We
lethal
named it in
injection.
2018.
Yeah. And we call them vaccine packages when we deliver them to you, but that's different too.
Who wants to get vaxxed?
Yeah. We call them Vax Packs for the homeless, is what we call them, but that's different.
We take homeless people to the island.
Yeah, it's not related at
Have a
all.
beach vacation for a week, and then we're like, "Oh, you're hungry? Find a dog."
Sure, we have a mask mandate. We wear a mask mandate for sure. Yeah. But it's nothing
If we
COVID-19.
vote, they can vote on which dog to kill.
Yeah. Please vote on our island. Would we have a democracy? Probably not.
No,
Probably
not with
not.
that many dogs running around.
We just
Teens
need
are out there living like Lord of the Flies.
we need to pick like one, like a John Daly type, one out of beat celebrity to run the island of teens. Somebody we trust though.
I mean,
Britney
Epstein.
Spears.
Epstein's got his name written all over that.
I don't know, like Russell Crowe. You know what I mean? Like,
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, we have beef with Russell Crowe.
oh yeah.
I called him fat once, and a bunch of people on the internet were like, "You're fat." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, no shit. I'm aware of that. I'm not fucking Russell Crowe."
Yeah, if I was Russell Crowe, I wouldn't be fat. Jesus,
Right, like
that's unfair.
There's a difference. There's a reason. I eat McDonald's. Russell Crowe eats fucking
Yeah.
plated steaks every
Yeah,
day.
I just saw Russell Crowe was in Spain. Okay, I don't even know where that is.
Yeah. It's a douche place.
Can't drive there. It's
But
stupid.
yeah, no. So it was very weird to me that like of all the things we've said a lot of
That got
probably
people hot. Yeah.
explosive things. Yeah, and the one thing that really pissed people off is when I said Russell Crowe was the fat gladiator.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That got him. I don't know how that worked.
Freaking
out,
Fatty-ator,
but-
yeah.
Fatty-ator. That's exactly
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, it's Fatty-ator.
That offended. That hit
Yeah,
me.
I'm
for
hearing
the
that.
big-
Gladiator.
A
Yeah.
lot of Russell Crowe fans.
Well,
out
then
there.
what
Watch
about
out. Watch
Steven
out,
Seagal?
Conrad.
We can have him.
Do they listen to the show, Russell Crowe fans?
I apparently they do. They do just enough to find out if I hate him or not.
Oh
and then
wow.
bitch at me about
No,
it.
I like Russell Crowe. I think he should run this island of misfit teens that kill dogs for the homeless. I think
Dog Island.
if we want somebody to whip him in shape, that'd be a good man to do it. I've
Just like
seen him.
Scooby Doo.
Get him an F-150 and a whip or something like a small whip
Well,
or a horse,
maybe
whatever.
we get him like a one of those unicycles, the one wheel things that people have to like.
Motorized
you know,
though,
Yeah, you know the motorized ones you can.
Oh,
ride around.
yes.
Oh, what will? Yeah.
Yeah,
what
get him one of
will,
those.
in a cape.
Yeah.
That'll
Dude,
help
I
you do a
tried to
little
ride one of
cardio.
those.
Yeah.
I tried to ride one.
Did
of
you
those
try to
this
ride one
weekend.
of those? I would never
Yeah,
try to
I
ride one of those.
did, dude. I got
It's like
on
a
it. and I was
hoverboard?
like,
I'll never-
Nope.
I will never ride on a hoverboard in my life.
Oh yeah, that's the future though.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's as much the future as people are making it out to be. Like, just like what was the thing that the guy who invented it fell off a mountain with it and killed
Oh,
him?
that is
Segway.
yeah, the
Segway.
Segway.
Yeah. Segway was the future of walking.
Yeah, but if you've ever been to a science museum in Oklahoma, they still do Segway rides.
Yeah, they do Segway tours
Really?
around. the city
Oh, but it's
here,
so
yeah.
funny because it's the biggest. Like, there's a lot of installations, right? There's NASA's there. There's a dinosaur behind me, and I'm sitting on this bench. And a lot of this real estate is by children getting like pulled around on a Segway that they clearly know how to ride better than the person pulling them around.
Sure.
Like children are like, I rode a hoverboard to the waiting area, you know, and then they stand there and somebody's like, okay, can you lean forward? And they're like, are you freaking kidding? I can breakdance on this. I can do anything on this. It's
We see 'em
hilarious.
all the time. It's because they tour our downtown in the area that we
Yeah.
live in. on
The new
Segways.
thing is the scooters now, though, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
Electric scooter.
The-
Oh yeah,
the
the
electric
little,
scooters?
like lime
Yeah.
scooters or whatever.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that
I've
just
ridden
get
one of
littered
those,
throughout
man.
the world.
They're pretty fun.
They are
Nothing better
fun.
than getting drunk and
Yeah.
riding a lime scooter, an unlicensed scooter through a downtown area
Yeah.
in the night.
And I don't know any gang signs, but if I was on a lime scooter, I would try every freaking sign I knew. I would just be, I'd be like, is this what we do now? Because I'm lime and I would just be riding. I tried to ride
I'm
one though.
going 35 miles
It charged
an
me
hour,
so much money, and I didn't
Yeah, it
even.
really does.
It like I went around a tree and then let somebody else ride it, and then I got a text message that I got a bill from Lime. I was like, well, this is all too much for me to handle right
bitch.
now.
Fucking scam.
Yeah,
When
I
I
think I'm
did it-
drunk. It's like,
When I did it, I think I rode around Charlotte, and then like I got the text about how much it was, and I was like, "Fuck this shit," and I got off of it. But I was like, I don't know. I was like 12 blocks from where I was staying,
You're like,
so I had to
well.
like walk back.
It's like a punishment you paid for. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yes, I hate that.
A mistake you're gonna keep paying for. Yep, you gotta
Yeah.
love it.
I do those
Why didn't you just
constantly.
ride it downhill the rest of the way back, and they wouldn't even charge
No,
you?
it's time. It ain't like
Oh, it's time.
time,
Okay.
yeah.
How much they
yeah,
charge
it's
you for an hour?
time. Like I don't know. It's got to be like $15.
That's not that
If
bad, right?
if not
I don't know.
more. Though.
Well, I think there's a
All over
minimum.
Charlotte on the ground because people get
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
just
'cause I
drop
think
them
they
off.
do take like $5 off the top.
yeah. They're gonna give you a
You know what I'm
minimum.
saying? Just to ride it, and then it starts charging like the old taxis used to be.
I wonder if we could like develop a group of people like-minded people where we go pick up all of the scooters and take them somewhere where they can't be tracked.
Throw them into a river.
Well, you know how like what is the range? I wonder on whatever satellite Lime has, where we could take them to
Right.
Montana, reconfigure them, turn it into some sort of death Lime race out in the desert.
Mad Max esque.
Right,
Deserts of Montana.
right.
Yeah.
For people who hate walking and also
The
hate
wooded
life or
deserts
whatever.
of Montana.
deserts of Montana.
Just be nice to see that because I see with Alan, I see them things where people throw them into fences, over fences.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and I understand getting frustrated that you now have to walk rather than stand. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah.
but then sometimes I'm like, you shouldn't have probably thrown it through the fence. Like, seems
Right.
excessive.
But then they're also like, how will they know?
That's a good
How will
point.
they know that I did
Yeah.
it?
That's a good point.
Well, you're the last person that wrote it.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean anything.
They're probably trying to
Right.
impress a
And
girl.
then see, and there was an easy joke
Look
right
at
there.
what
I
I
didn't
can
date.
do.
Like, watch, I threw this scooter.
And a girl's like, oh my
bad.
God, he's so strong. It probably worked too.
Maybe
Damn it.
Let's do a Britney Spears dance.
I bet it works every time. You know what I mean? Like feats of
Oh,
strength.
every time.
Yeah. When it's pick up.
Feats of strength. Hey, ladies love feats of strength.
They
That's-
do. And we're not doing them as men. We can't even open pickle jars anymore. We're bitches. My wife gave me a pickle jar the other day, and I tried to open it, and I did the whole trick without her knowing, where you hit it with the back of like a knife or something and top the. Couldn't get it, dude. Too much air pressure. Must have come from Colorado or something. It was out of whack.
Oh, yeah. Great Northern
And
Pair.
it's like there was a part of me that was like, I think I'm giving up. I think you know this
Stab
is
it with
it.
a knife.
You know this is it, babe. I can't do this. This is something I can't like.
You should have
This is it.
slammed it on the
This is it.
floor. and
Well, I
been
mean,
If you need to leave me, you can leave me now.
yeah, if you were stuck in this pickle jar, I couldn't save you. I'm giving this everything I can.
Like I always knew something would eventually end our marriage.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be some classics.
And now I like walk around and like open stuff that's I think might be difficult just to prove I still can. Like I got the toothpaste easy too tonight. So
You have to pre-open it and then close it back. And then like, hold on, dear, I got that.
yeah, I nonchalantly like open ketchup now in front of her and stuff. It's like it's easy. This one's easy for me. So whatever.
That's
I'm not
kind of the
strong.
curse for me is those little pull tabs on ketchup.
Oh, yeah.
All those.
Well, they're you know
yeah.
it depends how you use it as a condiment. You know what I mean? If you're dipping, they're not. It's just too much work to make a dip like out of them. If you're pouring it onto like a bite, it's okay. You know what I mean? The pull tab.
Yeah.
Not that
a
anybody
hard life.
cares. I mean,
It's
my-
hard. Life. No one knows what to do anymore.
I got a lot
I
of
just
thoughts on
drank a
ketchup.
mystery- I just drank a mystery liquid, and I really don't know what it is.
Well, what could it be?
Well, it was supposed to be water,
Oh, but protein in it.
and it might be sweet tea.
It shouldn't be a mite. Should
How
probably-
long has that sweet tea been there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea where. I thought this was water from 2 days ago.
Could be anything.
Good jug of tea mold.
What do you have around your house? What is the do you drink a lot or what do you? I know you have children. Could you somebody
That's
have
what does this.
spiked it? Probably, yeah.
It could be anything. In there.
Yeah,
It literally could be anything. It could be.
Saving it for the
It could be
aliens.
different types of urine. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just pee.
They're just like, look, we all peed in this thing. Put it by
We all
dad's
be the
desk.
same person.
That's true. I've done that before. I've
Jokes
peed and
on
stuff.
you.
Gotcha, Dad. Ha ha.
Yeah,
Trick
Also, we
you.
broke everything you've ever loved.
you pee on stuff for a long time. I mean, once you hit about 12 or 11, you start peeing on things to see if you can get away with it as a boy. I think.
Yeah, it's true.
And it goes to about college, and then you find out if you're one of the fortunate people that can drink and then not remember it. You know, one of those fortunate souls. And You can experience
matter what
2
you
or
do.
3 different worlds of college.
Every night.
One where you peed in somebody's closet, and one where you had a good time. And both of them are you. You don't remember, and that's just life.
A friend of mine,
That's
when
why
he
you
met
need
his
Rusty
wife,
Diamonds.
the first time he slept at his wife's house, well, which was his girlfriend then. First time,
Sure.
doing it, whatever. Like
Ooh,
he was
hey.
so fucking drunk, he pissed in her closet on her shoes.
Yeah,
Like
I've been there.
And she married him anyway.
Yeah, and that's love.
Anyway, I was like, dude, that's love.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. I mean, none of it I'm proud of, but I'm willing to admit, and usually documented as it happened. The next day I'd try to put that on tape that this happened, and
Okay, guess what? Guess what may have happened?
the worst is when it would be like you would try to cook a frozen pizza or something and then go to sleep in college. You know what I mean? Like, not wait the 15 minutes and then wake up in the morning and there's a freaking burnt freaking Totino's in there.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, who the fuck burnt my Totino? And they're like, you did. And it's like, what? It's like, I didn't have any left. They're like, you went to the store. I was like, holy shit.
You don't remember? You drove.
You drove to the store? I was like,
whole way
which?
back.
I was like, but the store was closed at Sunday. It's like, yeah, you drove to Topeka, I'm like, oh my
Broke
God.
into that 7-Eleven.
It's like, why didn't you guys stop me? Like, we tried and then we went with you and
Your clothes had blood on them. I don't know.
you said you'd buy us a pizza. It's like, all right, no.
And then you burnt them all and threw them in them.
Yeah. So those
Good times.
are good times, I don't know.
Those are the best times.
It happens. So be careful out
Too
there,
often.
kids, and so be careful what you're drinking. That's how we got there.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we're going to call it a night, guys, because...
Well, thanks for having me on.
No, thank you, Conrad,
Yeah,
for coming
man.
on, man.
Thank you for coming, man.
And next
Great
week, Fred's
time
not
as
going to be
always.
here. So
All right.
Oh,
get ready for our best show ever.
that's not nice. Well, enjoy your
Me
new
and
heart,
Alan
Alan.
sitting.
It was good to see all of you.
Yeah, man, we'll have to get you on again sometime soon. And
Yeah.
like I said, we did enjoy it. All the people who are watching this, from Conrad's side, we love you.
Yeah.
Unless you're on...
Thanks for
Yeah, subscribe to the
whatever
Black
fucking
Lincoln
bullshit
Collective
thing on
podcast
our-
on all of their stuff.
Yeah.
You guys could do something as far as helping out, guys that are watching and ladies, if you're still there.
We don't want any ladies to subscribe.
They were
Yeah.
gone 30 minutes.
Yeah, ladies, if you found this, ladies, congratulations. You've done it. So subscribe.
You solved the mystery. Now we're going to tell you what guys really think, which is nothing.
Yeah. But thank you, for having me on. And anytime, we're here. So,
Yeah, we'll get up again soon for sure.
okay.
Thank you guys, everybody. Have a great night. Like I said, Fred will be here next week. The show will be here. Fred will not be here. He's going to Disney World. I'm sure. Last year
About
he
to
did
kill
this.
that mouse and
Well,
cut him
no,
up and
I wouldn't threaten
serve the
that.
homeless people.
We're sponsored by Disney. We're sponsored by Marvel, which is sponsored by Disney. No.
We're
No,
sponsored
remember
by
last year,
Duke.
Fred, you went and you lost your children.
Yeah, I did lose my kid. My wife bought air tags.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
wife
did you
bought air
really? Oh,
tags.
man,
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna put them in their clothes so if they
Oh.
do get
Smarter
taken,
than us.
they won't.
That is
Oh,
smart.
Jesus.
They didn't get taken, by the way.
Oh.
Just for the
No.
record, they did not get
No, they
taken.
just fucking.
They just
got
fucked
tired
off.
of it.
They hate dogs
Yeah,
too.
well,
They're
well.
great on the island.
Yeah, they're like, we
It's
want to go
more
hang out with dogs on the island, Dad. It's a dream come true for us.
Take with the pleasure island like Pinocchio.
Oh, creepy. That shit was creepy when I was a kid.
Yeah. Watch it again. It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Ever. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for everything. Have a great
Do
night.
I have to press any
We'll
buttons?
All right.
Press buttons, yeah.
Should I have to
I
press
don't even
buttons?
know. I don't know what to do.
I mean,
I think Alan has to do it.
I like the part that we're going to keep stepping on each other's outros. I'm going to do it. I'm just kidding.
Let's keep. Let's get out of here.
I don't know if I'm supposed to hang up on you guys or what. I'm just kidding. Go.
Say, I love you more. No, I love you more.
No, Conrad, you hang up first. You hang up first.
Yeah, you hang up
You
first.
hang up
I don't know how. So, all right.
I don't know how either. Bye bye. Okay, there you go. Alan. did it.
I ended it.
That's all we needed. Now we were waiting for like an hour and a half for you to do that, Alan.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to give a shout out to our listener in that world that I don't know where it is. Fuck. I told you Iceland, Fred, is where we got a listener. This past week.
Iceland, really?
Yeah, near Keflavik, Iceland, which is apparently very close to Reykjavik, which is a place in Iceland. So I don't think they're ever going to listen
Fucking
again,
cool.
but that's fine. It is cold there. It's really cold there, Fred. It's called Iceland.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
I thought it was Greenland that was cold.
I don't fucking know. I'm an
I think it's
American.
Greenland.
There's
I
a
only know
new
that it's
continent too. Before, I don't know if you guys saw that. Maybe check that
Mega
out.
Pangea or
Yeah,
whatever?
some weird crazy name, but people are
Mega
not.
Pangea.
I feel like they should be talking about the
Don't
fact
know
that there's a new continent more. I mean, that's kind of a
Right.
big deal, but all
I mean,
right.
they're gonna,
Yeah,
it's gonna
they-
kill us all.
Yeah.
I saw that today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
gonna kill us all 250 million years from now.
Oh, well, yeah, that might be true. So maybe that's why they're not talking about it.
It's fine. Yeah, because they're like, we don't want people to get worried about that. They couldn't handle COVID, which was killing people today.
Right.
But they'll freak out about the mega continent that's going to kill us in 250 million years.
Yeah, that's true. That would cause a little bit of an uproar. You're probably right.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. Alan, see if you can
right.
download this or not.
Yeah, I'm downloading them right now.
Okay, we're good then.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Conrad. We'll
see
get in
you
touch
guys.
soon.
All right, man. Be good.
See you, buddy.